हेलो। All right, let's get started. I hope you can hear me. Can you confirm once, please?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So, first of all, why was this session even needed? This is the first thing that I want to talk about. We have had some spectacular results, but it is very, very painful to know and see that people who don't listen, irrespective of how many times we tell, how many webinars I do, how many seminars, how many times we write in the plan, some people are, I do not know why they want to really not follow the exact thing. If every day we're producing sometimes 2, 3, 4 results every single day, then somebody is scoring a 500 and 550 or 300 and 390, it really goes to, and we ask them, say, yeah, I did not do everything, I did not revise, I did not do, my mock score was only 500, I went in and wrote the exam. What exactly are you trying to accomplish? Anybody who has done so, well, my mock score was around 500, I still went ahead and wrote the exam. What is the point? Round one was coming, etc. So very, very clearly, I know 90% of you just don't follow whatever is being told. You don't follow it to the absolute T. If you say solve 50 LSAT papers towards the end for RC and CR, hand on heart, barely anybody would plan to do, or barely anybody has done so. We really say that, okay, finish the portal. Why is it given? So many people coming and saying that we finish everything on the portal. Some people are just doing, I'll just do 5, 6 tests. I get demotivated, this, that. So very clearly, if this is not changed, then I as a teacher or you as a student both can't help each other. Absolutely not possible. Every day I see people writing such basic doubts, and there is no need for that doubt. 1 hour later, say, oops, I got it. So deliberate for 1 hour, think about it for 1 hour. You're not even reading the PDF solution or watching the video and just say, no, this is not. So there are people of all kinds, and this is not directed at everyone. Please remember, obviously, all of you are not doing all the mistakes, but out of the 10 mistakes, somebody or the other must be doing many of them. So we will also discuss, some people have been asking constantly, should we shift to the GRE? I'll discuss this in detail, just telling you, primed you, so that you know that this will also be discussion. Current edition, focus edition, definitely we'll talk about, but not in the beginning. I want to really know, and this is not to denounce anyone, this can be a reality. Please, nobody raises hand until I ask you to really, no need to do that, please. I want to know, really speaking, which of these 10 definitely apply to you? Let's see. I'll just give you audio access once again. Tell me that this is definitely my reality, and please do not raise hands at all until I ask you to. Do not raise hands. It really distracts everybody, distracts me for sure. Please, which one applies to you for sure that this is definitely my problem? If none of this is your problem, trust me, you can get 770 today. Trust me. Yes. What is your exact problem out of these 10? I'd like to know. Please answer.
So the second and the fourth one.
Fourth one.
The second one.
Fourth and 10th one, sir.
Tenth one.
Ninth one.
Yeah, for me.
Fourth, 10th,
Sixth.
9th. Please do not raise hands. Everybody, how many? First and second. Okay.
Sir,
One person, one.
First and the fourth, sir.
First and third.
If they have already been marked, there is no need to say. If you find
389.
So mine is it's a 9, sir.
7 also.
7. Okay, these are marked already. Any other?
6,
All of
sir.
them.
7.
6, sir. 6.
As I said, these are your challenges, and if these are not your challenges, then you'll nail the exam. And none of this is trust. Tell me one thing. Out of these, how many are some things that are attitudinal only? And how many are maybe that, okay, it is a matter of skill or my biology itself that I'm too short, that I'm too, yeah, 1 second, that I'm too short. How can I play basketball? My singing cannot be good because I don't have a good voice. Is this really your biology? Is this your attitude? Is it your skill? Please, what is the answer here, please?
Attitude.
All our attitudes, please.
So yeah, if you don't fix this, then there's no point, right? That is what I asked for right in the very first session. Why don't you honor and why do you join here? Right? We do 2 demos for you, not even 1. We do 1 video. I ask of this only, that be consistent, give me exactly the best focus of 3 months. You want the best result for the next 30 years of your life. Why can't you give the absolute best focus for 3 months? I mean, there is no need. We give you only as much pre-work as is warranted in 5 or 6 days of live sessions. In the self-paced course, there is always the speed is in your hands. But this is something that one has to really realize that. And another thing, this is not a session for blame game. Please don't think that, oh, I'm blaming you. Not at all. But these are our realities. What is the blame? If you only admit, then blame kahan se aayega? This is what this session I did last year, June. Everybody related to all the 10 points almost. This was a session. This is a slide from that session. It is not right now. Look at, that's why there are 2 bars you see here. So if we can't take care of any, and why is it so difficult? Please tell me, why is it so difficult? Which of these you just think? And let's have an honest conversation. So please remember, this is not a blame game. This is a problem solving thing. I want to solve the problem, but for that you need to acknowledge and not feel bad. There is a problem. We go to a doctor. We don't feel bad about having a disease. We don't feel, so whatever it is. Why is it that some of the things you just can't manage on your own? Is it that you don't have any control over your mind? Is it that there are too many distractions, you give in to those? What is it? Please, life events taking over, somebody said as a major point, etc., etc. These are the 10 I could find. Anyone who would like to really tell me a possible reason?
Very slow understanding of content, sir.
You are saying that very slow understanding of the content. Any other thing, anybody?
Naughty mind, sir. Naughty mind.
Naughty mind.
Yes,
you get
mind
distracted.
always try to focus on the what do you say, lack of focus, or try to get to other stuff, try to distract us continuously.
Yeah, I mean, but what is the point then? Why are you in this session? You should give up this chase. Then do something जिसमें आपका मन लगे वो करिए. Please understand, बात ये नहीं है. I mean, after 6 months, do you want to say that, no, I didn't do anything and now I'm quitting? It's better you quit right now. You'll feel at least fine. You have to choose your battle and fight to the finish. There is nobody who gave up on the way that whose description will be really flashed in you. You have no merit in really giving up on them. So very important. What you're saying is all right, but we need to fix the problem. So problem lies in the mind itself. If you want, you can fix it in 1 minute. It is 1 minute. I mean, most of the stuff, okay, finding the content too tough. That also is a matter of attitude, because you're not persisting. You want to solve more and more questions. Solving more questions is never a solution until, that is why I said read the email. Something would have resonated. So very important, when we do all this, we are basically resorting to a very straightforward victim talk and whiners and complainers. That nahi. Victim is, it is too much, it is too tough, I am not good enough. Maybe other people are intelligent. I was never good at anything. My parents never supported me. My college never supported me. My boss never supports me. My partner doesn't. This is your victim talk. What is the point? Ask yourself, do you want to feel good by venting it out at a dinner table conversation with someone? That, oh, I vented it. What happens the next morning? You are hungover even more than before when you vent it out. If venting was a solution, you would keep a helpline only for venting, honestly telling. So this doesn't help get a score or get ahead in life. Loser talk, mujhse to hona hi nahi. What's the point? I just can't do it. It's too tough. When people solve critical reasoning, every second question they have a doubt. If you have a doubt, then go back to the basic. There are people who are very bad at CR in the beginning, but they are able to ace because they're doing the content really well. Every single question that has been given, if you can explain to me, if we exchange places, you can definitely do. But in every question, if you're left with 2 nagging doubts, then no, not this, I can eliminate 2 options, but no, 3 look good to me. Then realize 3 don't look good to somebody else. That means that person's depth is more than yours. That has to be like somebody who easily gets a 770 after studying for only 28 days in the first attempt. Coming from humanities background, okay, not great at maths to start with, not great at verbal anyway, is not good for people in India mostly. This person definitely would have nailed the basics better than you would have if you are saying. So this again, and what's the point? I mean, who is listening and where do you get? आप हार्वर्ड जा सकते हो क्या ये करके? इनमें से कुछ भी करके आप ISB भी नहीं जा सकते. Forget a Harvard Wharton. Forget it ना, नहीं होगा. So if you are on this side, and there are people, I guarantee, people tell me every day, why don't you have a WhatsApp group? They don't want to discuss problems. कि ये question नहीं solve हो रहा, हमारा doubt ले. They want to discuss this. क्योंकि बड़ा मजा आता है लोगों को ये सब बातें करके, ही मजा आता है सबसे. Nobody whom you admire in the entire world, nobody has talked like this. Nobody talks like this. Nobody. So we have to get rid of it. And if you say, no, this is not my problem, this is everybody's problem. Very, very rarely. Another, I get very depressed when things don't go as per expectations. I give my example again and again, 153 questions wrong in a row in CR. And out of 78, 75, I think, maybe 74, 75 wrong in RC. Why this came out, that also I'll tell you. One of my cousins sent me 3 papers of LSAT when I was growing up and preparing. 3 papers of LSAT. 3 papers of LSAT has 6 CR sections and 3 RC sections. Roughly, these are 25 to 27 questions. So I counted exactly 153 questions and 78 in RC. Not even one wrong, or not even one correct. 153 on 153 wrong. I could have quit that day, right? I could have just quit. He told me, don't check solution, don't check answer key, you finish up. I had 3 correct answers in RC out of 78. Today I teach these subjects and I don't commit a single mistake. If I can take my own example, what better than that? Then one has to push through. And the reason is we want to practice too soon. Everybody, why aren't you performing so well? I have to practice. This is real bullshit. You don't have to practice you have to learn how to solve. If you can say probability, give me any question I can solve. I'll take time maybe. Time is okay. But I can solve any question in probability. Then you are ready. Then you can speed up. If I say, let me practice for, no, you will remain at 40% if you start at 40%. Build that depth. It has been given to you in that sense. One-off case will be there always. So very important. If we look at failure as defeat, थोड़ा सा शुरू में क्या होता है, when we start learning, you will go up to a point. All of you, please keep your hands down. I don't want hand raised here. Please, no one. I'm not answering your question. This is a one-sided session, clearly. No, I'm not answering any question right now, at least. Please don't raise hands. It distracts everybody. Obviously, when you start, the GMAT also is not a test that will start at the highest level. If your current level is at the average GMAT taker, average GMAT taker is 582 right now. Obviously, 600, 620, you will be fine. The moment you go, and your accuracy will be definitely dipping the moment you go past this. Now, there are 2 options. It will definitely dip. What do you do at this point? I always see failure as learning, and I've always failed first. Failed so many times that only option was not. And there is no plan B. People who have a plan B in life don't achieve something spectacular. प्लान बी होना ही नहीं चाहिए कि नहीं जीमैट देना है, कैट देना है, CFA करना है, ये भी करना है. No plan B. If you have a plan B, you are not going to achieve the Harvard level of success, guys. There is nothing called plan. One failure seen as learning, that fine. I got 153 wrong. मैं तो यही छोड़ देता कि कुछ और करते हैं, हमारे से तो होना ही नहीं है, सवाल ही नहीं उठता. 153 out of 150. You get 3 out of 3 wrong in the first 3 questions. You feel so depressed. So ये feel depressed से तो नहीं होगा ना कहीं पे. We'll really have to take that call. And this is not a motivation session. This is your reality, guys. This is your reality. आपको इतना बुरा लगता है 2, 3, 4, 10 में से 10 गलत हो जाए किसी चीज में. How will you feel? Ask us. Then ask, how would I have felt at this? What are the 2 options? You still persist, you still push through, or you just hang up your boots and do something else. The easiest thing in the world is quitting. Because it takes no effort. Quitting never takes any effort. No, काम करना है तब effort लगता है. Quitting तो कोई effort नहीं लगता. So many people write to me every single day that I'm not able to do. I think I should do something. मुझसे GMAT नहीं हो रहा तो मैं waiver ले लूं क्या? मुझसे GMAT नहीं हो रहा मैं GRE दे दूं क्या? मुझसे जीमैट करंट नहीं हो रहा, मैं फोकस दे दूं, आई डोंट माइंड कि आपको कोई जीआरई या फोकस या वेवर से काम चल जाता. Plus, do not think that things will become easier just because you wrote an easier exam or you took a waiver. Why? What would you do in a B school? In one of the recent batches, I think it was August batch or July batch, I gave an example of how sharp people are at B school. आप अपनी इंटेलिजेंस का 1000 टाइम्स कर लो तो भी आपको लगेगा नहीं यार ये 1000 टाइम्स से भी ज्यादा शार्प है. I have seen people 1000 times as sharp as me. I have seen by the thousands at B schools, at both B schools that I attended for a little time. And I know that this is also your competition. So why do they have the GMAT in the first place? They should directly give you admission based on your work profile, because you will not survive the rigor of the first year itself. That is our first this. And if we look at the entire thing as a mountain, that itna bada target hai, itne sare sessions, people just say this is too much. Too much. आपको एक दिन का काम यहाँ करना है, अगले दिन का काम यहाँ करना है, ऐसे ब्लॉक्स बनाओ, कितने दिन में खत्म हो जाएगा. मुझे नहीं लगता कोई को भी 60 या 80 डेज से ज्यादा लगने वाला. ये प्रॉब्लम है हमारा कि ये नहीं किया, ये भी नहीं किया, फिर तीसरे दिन बोलते हैं फिर से प्लान दे दो मुझे. I want a plan, but the plan was given to you. No 770 scorer. I've been saying this always. Nobody has asked for a different plan. Nobody. Today morning I received an email कि SC में तो 3 parts हैं, advanced में 700, 800. Can I do only one part? And if I have to do only one, which one should I do? आप खुद ही मान रहे हो कि आपको 1/3 of the work you are doing and you're expecting the same result. Some people are like, I have only 10 days, give me a plan for 10 days. But why do you have only 10 days? What did you do earlier? We have to break down, and you finish one day's target, you finish next day's. आपको 240 hours बोला हुआ, 4 hours यहाँ पढ़ो, खत्म हो गया ना. उसके बाद बाकी कम ही रहेगा. एक लगातार, if you 10 days you do 24 hours, you're done here. So you will, but the problem is every single day one has to do. When somebody says I've been studying for 1 year, I'm stunned by that thing. And there are people who are telling me, oh, मैं 1 साल से GMAT पढ़ रहा हूँ. I asked them, do you mean 365 on 365 days? Is this your 1 year? जैसे नहीं वो संडे को कभी कभी ओजी खोल के मैंने 10-15 सवाल कर लेता हूँ. दैट इज इसको 1 ईयर से पढ़ने का. और ये सबके साथ कोई ना कोई लेवल पे प्रॉब्लम. यू माइट नॉट रिलेट टू ऑल दिस. आई एम वेरी सिंसियर. सिंसियरिटी इज नॉट माय प्रॉब्लम. सो आई एम कमिंग टू योर प्रॉब्लम आल्सो. वी विल एड्रेस एवरीथिंग, every single thing. This you anyway just admitted. Many of us, when we sit down to study, this is our focus. Always. I mean, ये नॉर्मल चीज है बहुत ज्यादा कि यार where am I reaching? करके भी क्या ही हो जाएगा, कुछ मिल जाएगा. मेरी ना तो प्रोफाइल अच्छी है, ना मेरे मार्क्स अच्छे आए. जीमैट में तो मेरे मार्क्स आने ही नहीं वाले हैं. हो भी जाएगा तो कौन स्कॉलरशिप देगा, फंडिंग कौन देगा, कौन जाएगा फॉरेन कंट्री में, इतना वर्क. But there are people who have never come back, who have been going in so many numbers and have not come back. So this is our focus, self-talk, worrying about results. आपको करना ये चाहिए. Absolutely everybody should be doing this only, because I never worried about it. What would happen? I never. And I'm sure this girl Shloka, who got a score in just 50 days of 770 score, she, I'm sure, was not thinking about this. We'll talk about her. When I went to IIT Delhi for my first seminar this year, nobody had heard about deferred MBA. Nobody had even heard about deferred MBA. Don't think this is IIT. IITs make no difference. We have seen commerce students and art students scoring higher than IIT students, and they're also getting through. So please, IIT was just a coincidence. Nobody. And these 5-6 students came up to me after that. One of them was Shloka. And I went there on Jan 22nd, not this year. By April, in fact, by March, she had a 770 score, Shloka. And she made it to Booth and Kellogg both as a deferred MBA candidate. In May, she made it. हम लोग वाइन करें, कंप्लेन करें से कुछ. That's what I'm trying to say, that they did not even know कि GMAT क्यों ही देना अभी. तो they were all thinking about joining their jobs. They're still working with deferred MBA. Means 2 years of working. But this, and not one person, so many of them. At that time, this girl who got the score in 50 days in her first attempt, 770, you can see 50 days is written. So I am sure not even one day was she doing this. Not even one day. It's a guarantee. She was not doing this. But you put your head down and you study. It's a solo journey. Don't ask other people what they're doing. आपको करना है सिर्फ आंसर चेक करो कोई एक्सपर्ट का जीमैट क्लब पे या कहीं जाके. That's it. इसके अलावा आपको किसी की हेल्प नहीं चाहिए किसी से बात करने की. There are people who you would have seen in my interview when I do that this is the first time we are interacting. That means what? They never needed a plan. They never needed consultation. They never need. This is just steam release. कि मुझे किसी से बात करना है फोन पे, मतलब उससे होगा क्या ये नहीं, बट बात करना है. If you genuinely want some guidance, that is separate. But no, I want to just talk. It doesn't work. We did not even know Shloka existed because so many people come after a seminar, hundreds of them to talk to a teacher. I mean, she would have just come, she just asked, and she took the self-paced course, put her head down exactly for 50 days, got to 770, verbal 47. But and she applied to 3 or 4 of the M7 school, Booth, which is ranked number 1 in the world right now, Kellogg, which is ranked number 2 in the world right now, as per US News. Why am I giving her example here? This is important. And not even for one day, I'm very sure, not even for 1 hour was this her commentary. I've not asked her, but I can vouch on her behalf. I can vouch for her on her behalf. That not even for 1 hour was this her commentary in her head. So that is where we really, really have to pull our socks up, man. This is important. Another thing, this is related to the error log thing. Right from the very beginning, we ask you to maintain an error log. Very basic. Number 1, correct answer. अपना खुद बनाओ, कोई जरूरत नहीं है template. Correct answer, wrong answer. What is the exact mistake I made? Is there a pattern? Do I need to come back? And what is to be avoided in the future? Simple. What do we learn from any error? What is the correct answer? First of all, what is the wrong answer that I chose? If you went wrong, error log hai, sub correction log nahi hai. So obviously, what did I go wrong? Or my answer, correct answer. The second thing you can do is what is the exact mistake I made? Is it avoidable? Is it silly mistake? What is the pattern? Is it like again and again I don't read the conclusion correctly? Is it that I do not look at the tone correctly? Is it that I misread a math problem and misinterpret? There will always be a pattern. People who think there are 10,000 questions and 10,000 approaches, they will never succeed. All questions are essentially 5 to 6 types in every area. CR, there are predominantly 5 to 6 types of questions. You might feel weaken, strengthen, flaw, and assumption, evaluate. This is one type of question. You might feel there's a 5 types. This is just one type. That's why we say if you master assumptions, you master these 5 questions in a flash. Inference is a different category. Paradox is a different category. Boldface is. That's it. Now you might say, oh, there are 2 people arguing, method of, all this is covered already. Nothing is needed apart. In sentence correction, if you're doing, there are only, so which pattern am I? And do I need to come back? What is my learning? You can create your own error log. If you go wrong, you should have this. If I say, okay, I understood, I don't have to come back. This was just, if it's a silly mistake, note down silly mistake. Why are they happening? Do I need to fix? This otherwise is no use. After 1 month, why do people say that I need to revise? When I give them a revision plan at the end of a live class, which is the same as self-paced, there's no difference, live class and self-paced class. They feel that, oh, 4 classes of RC, I have to revise all 4 classes of RC fully. If you had maintained this, probably you would have to revise only 2 hours out of the 4 classes. 4 classes could be 20 hours overall revision plus going through. This could just be 2 hours. What this is where we are not efficient. If you say, किसी का 50 days में कैसे आ सकता, मेरा तो 50 days में math ही खत्म नहीं होता. Reason ये है ना, आप नहीं रखते. And people are not, everybody is not born intelligent. If you think that everybody is intelligent, then why would people come to me in the 8th attempt and succeed? All of you have known those stories. People have come in the 8th attempt. That means they were not bright. This is not really that you have to be intelligent, but you have to be very organized, very methodical. And then another thing, motivation is absolutely no meaning. My colleague Aman says this, consistency is more important than motivation. Discipline is more important. I've given very recently the example in one class of the guy, Stephen King, who's written 175 best-selling novels in a single lifetime. Once हमसे एक email नहीं लिखा जाएगा, 175 best-selling novels. He says, whether I feel like writing or not, I sit down every morning 5 to 8, I just write. Some days my output is crappy, but I write. Who can claim that? नहीं, मेरे को motivation नहीं तो मुझे consistency means I have to study full stop. You might not be remembering probably because maybe you were very young at the time of 2007. Shah Rukh Khan for one movie built his body, I mean, absolutely to the extent. उसका इंटरव्यू आया था कि मैं रात को 1 बजे घर आऊं, मैं 2 बजे घर आऊं, 3 बजे घर आऊं, 4 बजे आऊं. I hit my personal gym with my personal trainer even if I work 22 hours that day. I hit my gym. ये है ना consistency, discipline. ये नहीं है यार. I give these examples not because I'm a fan of Bollywood or fan of cricket or something, but जहां से जो सीख सकते हो बिल्कुल सीखना चाहिए. 2007, this was probably for the movie Om Shanti Om. He built his body, that is an unrivaled record till now. And he said, मैं रात को 4 बजे भी घर आता था तो भी 2 घंटे personal trainer के साथ I used. How tired somebody can be after a 22-hour shift, but he said I used to do that, and that's what is required, guys. That is what is required. That is genuinely what is required. I have given this example many times. Don't think I brag about it. Even when I had a class, I'll just give you my schedule. I am at BITS Goa right now in the Goa campus because I have to do a seminar after this class. I traveled from Bangalore this morning. I checked in just 5 minutes before. But despite that, despite very early morning flight I had to take, I still read my 100 pages in flight. I did not do anything. I still did because वो ritual है, वो करना है मतलब करना है. So consistency is more important than motivation. Discipline is more important. I don't know how else to explain this, but then मुझे मेरा मन ही नहीं होता पढ़ने का 10 दिन तक में. I get derailed. Every single day we receive at least, and not the volume is 100 emails a day. That मेरी क्लास खत्म हुई तब तक मेरा डिसिप्लिन था, उसके बाद तो मेरा डिसिप्लिन कहाँ गया पता. And all they'll write personal reasons, this reason, health reason. Most of the reasons are wrong. Sometimes the reasons are absolutely right. I mean, health हो सकता है, genuine कुछ और हो सकता है. But most of the times, if you wanted it, this could have been made to work. Always, please, एक person का interview जरूर देखना. Her name is Sejal. I don't want to show videos here. I've given this example many times, but still, 14 hours a day of work. 14 hours a day, Monday to Saturday. Sunday, 7 hours a day. 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Self-paced course, 780 score, 9 weeks, first attempt. Everything is written in her email. Everything is in her videos. 14 hours a day, and that to Sunday also she was working hard. 6.5 days of working. तो जिसको करना होता है वो कर लेता है, अपने को नहीं करना है तो फिर तो बहुत. एंड यू माइट से दिस इज नॉट माय प्रॉब्लम. माय प्रॉब्लम इज दैट मेरी एक्यूरेसी नहीं इंप्रूव हो रही 60%. मेरी स्पीड, दिस it really stems from depth, and depth is built like this, and everything is interconnected. If you say that, no, have you, she said, not even for one day did I skip my study schedule. Not even. ये इंटरव्यू है हमारे वेबसाइट पे, जाके देखना जरूर. You will really be shocked कि ऐसे भी लोग हो सकते हैं, but that's the point, right? 9 weeks is what? 2 months and 1 week. Just not even the standard 3 months. Not even 12 weeks that standard people say. 2 months and 1 week, and she got a score. Her joining date was June 9th last year. Her exam date was August 17th last year. You can see how much time, and I know exact dates also. So if you really feel that नहीं मुझसे नहीं होगा, तो फिर आपसे सही में नहीं होगा. Another thing, when people rush, why did so many people fail? Why so many? And it pains my heart as a teacher कि सब कुछ अच्छा देने के बाद सब कुछ. We have 14 people in the faculty team constantly trying to help you with every doubt, everything you ask, every single thing. And you might say नहीं मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं, मुझे तो मोटिवेशन ही नहीं है, मुझे तो बात करना है. ऐसे लोगों का कुछ नहीं होता. जिनको सिर्फ बात करना है, वो लोगों का नहीं होता कुछ. Let the talk be very specific. Another thing, the test won't get easy if you have a deadline coming. I hope that much we understand that नहीं मेरे को तो 10 दिन में ISB का डेडलाइन है, तो मुझे तो एग्जाम आज ही देना पड़ेगा. तो अपने एक प्रेप है जिसमें 580 स्कोर आ रहा है मॉक में. 10 days later, they want to write for ISB. ISB also needs 720. I mean, there is no magic, guys. Don't ask me for a 10-day plan. I've given you the plan. You follow that plan. Don't ask me to shorten the plan. Don't ask me to change the plan, tweak the plan, unless there is some reason for it. Another thing, this is a classic thing I see every day. Take any random interview. You open any random interview on our channel. If the person has scored 750 and above, mostly not one person has ever told me there was anything unusual. And all of you, in fact, the live batch ke students, they've heard them saying this again. And at a score of 550, people will say everything was so tough, nothing like what I had studied. Who are you fooling? This is just a case of passing the buck and passing the blame. Ki haan, मैंने तो सब किया पर कुछ. Tell me when is the test tougher यार? क्या मतलब है इन बातों का sense क्या है ये सोच. It seemed tough to you, maybe that is a possibility. The other thing is कि नहीं, मैं blame नहीं लेना चाहता, किसी और को blame कर दो. If everybody had said this, I would have agreed. Then nobody probably would have scored a 770. Those people have not come from a different planet. Let's understand. So obviously for life, if we, even once, you know, मेरे parents ने मेरे साथ अच्छा नहीं किया, मेरे boss ने अच्छा नहीं किया, मेरे किसी की कोई गलती नहीं है. गलती आपकी अगर आप ये मानने लग जाओगे तो बहुत अच्छा हो. मैंने अपनी लाइफ में आज तक किसी को ब्लेम नहीं किया. उसका फायदा नहीं है. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And if you say that no, ये काम नहीं किया, वो काम नहीं किया, ये नहीं, then ask. We are here to help. Another thing, I don't know where I'm going wrong. This is the most classical blunder people do. Deep within, only you know. Some people analyze my ESR with me. I mean, what? Are you a kid? Usko bhi nahi zarurat padegi analyze my ESR. We don't mind that, but what is it not clear? ESR mein jo likha hai, main bhi wo interpret karunga. Even at 18-year-old, 19, 20-year-old, you can definitely decode what the problem is. Fix the problem. नहीं मुझे AI system चाहिए जो मेरा friend बन के मुझे पढ़ाएगा. कुछ नहीं होगा इन सब चीजों से. Just put your head down and study. If you're weak at probability, the AI will tell you 10 times you are weak at probability, stupid. Just study. That's it. Everything finally has to boil down to just do the stuff. Do the work, guys. That's it. I don't know where I'm going wrong is the worst lie anybody can ever say. You only know, nobody else knows. Even your teacher will know less than you, definitely, because you are going through the process. I am not going. I can tell sometimes what to do, but I don't know where I'm going wrong. Is you should ask yourself, is it really true? First of all, कोई भी बोल सकता है कि ये possible है, कोई हो ही नहीं सकता ऐसा. There are people who say मुझे तो solution भी समझ में नहीं आते हैं. ऐसे लोगों के लिए one message I have, you might find it very harsh. Rather than rely on कि मुझे बस कोई बता दे हाथ पकड़ के, उससे आपका फाइनली एग्जाम में कौन सोचेगा? Who will be there to hold your hand on the test day? Do the hard yards. Go through 10 different websites if the question is available. Go through everything in the solution. Jo bhi possible. Convince yourself and then only move on. I don't mind explaining. Please remember, I am not passing the responsibility. But if you say, oh, I got it. That is not a solution. Next question mein kya hoga fir? People, I am again not saying that you should not ask. Why do we have doubt clearing service otherwise? My point is, if you want an easy solution for every question, and there are people, every 3 questions, they have a doubt in mocks. Please go through the hard yards, do the stuff on your own. How will you master anything otherwise? Conditional reasoning, people open every question, they have a doubt. 1, 2, 3. I mean, every single, the 25 questions, they send 25 doubts. Even if, and everything is explained in so much detail in that. So despite that, if you have a right to be confused, then remain confused. Do the hard yards, get conviction yourself that no, itna acha ho gaya, I can teach now. If you're confused and somehow, okay, I'm not still convinced, how will I be doing like this? Then what's the point? Again and again, okay. I am not saying 10 places are required. My point is do the work required. Don't look for anything easy. Because on the exam day, people who have done everything in absolute depth are the champions. Anybody who found anything easy shortcut, unka exam mein kuch nahi hota. And some of you would have understood, some of you attending probably might already be at a 700, 710, 730 score. Okay, now what is the meaning of depth? Because I've been saying this right from the first go, but some of us don't realize, because hand on heart, you will not be able to claim that this is your level, right? L 760 plus will not happen, no matter आप 3 साल पढ़ लो, because I have had stories of people who studied for 4 years before coming to me. You know those people. I have already talked about everyone. Harjas, Vandita ऐसे लोग जो कि Wharton जैसे स्कूल में जाके full scholarship, they also studied for 4 years. Why? Because of this reason only. I can solve 95% of all GMAT in that topic. If you say my probability, I'm just giving my bold-face questions, my inference question is in RC, whatever it is. I am good with this. That means 95 on 100 you should get right. Even before checking the answer key, you should know you're right. You should be able to explain it to other people. I've given this all in the email, still telling you that this is the meaning of depth. Hand on heart, very rarely do people have this level of depth. Very rare. Untimed, why should you not have depth? And then you want to do time practice. I have not practiced enough is a lie. This is not going to fix anything. If your probability accuracy somehow is 40%, solve 1,000 questions, you will not go to 45% also. Trust me, it will not happen. Fix the problem first. Go back, learn everything, then solve more problems. We don't fix the problem. We feel SC. Abhi focus edition wale people who are listening to me, they will not relate, but SC. I have solved 1,000 questions in SC. I started with 50%. I have not reached even 55%. So obviously will not reach. Develop that level of depth. I get bored. This is it. If you get bored, then why are you preparing for any exam? कौन सी एग्जाम में मजा? CFA तैयार करते टाइम क्या वहां पे कॉमेडी शो चलता है? कौन सी एग्जाम है यार? कोई जेई के लिए तैयार करते हो तो क्या कॉमेडी? सिविल सर्विसेज के लिए इज इट सम कॉमेडी शो? Things are going to be hard. Hard doesn't mean boring. Hard can be very, very interesting because challenges is what you should thrive on essentially in life. But no वही problem. तो ये पहला चीज. Any area that you say that arithmetic plus word problems I have closed, 95% is 19 on 20 I can solve untimed. To the extent that I can teach, to the extent that I don't need to check the answer to your solution. Then I understand. Even without checking the solutions, this. Depth versus brushing up. Some people say, oh, geometry, I have revised the formula sheet, I should be able to solve all questions. When they start solving, they realize, oh, एक भी सवाल नहीं हो रहा ठीक. एक भी नहीं, सबके लिए solution. That means what is your depth then? And some complaint is that oh, material is too tough. Then so many people off late have said the test reaches such exceptionally tough levels. If you have been watching, so please watch all the testimonials, not for my reasons that I was their teacher. Every time you will learn something. We have asked you many times, subscribe to the channel. You can unsubscribe once your GMAT is done. Watch every single video, you will genuinely learn. So many people have said the test goes to exceptionally difficult levels. It will go. How can you score 770 without doing the hard yards really well? So definitely. Brushing up, no point. I mean, this is useless. Mastery over finishing, I finished 1,000 questions, doesn't matter. Can you teach 100 questions to me? That level of mastery is what I want. Teach 100 at least. SC, when people solve the first 100 questions, they just don't develop that depth. CR sessions, I mean, they somehow convince ki haan theek hai, main to convinced nahi. I ask this in every class. Why you totally convinced about all the wrong answers? No, nahi, I'm not convinced. I don't think so. I'm not sure. Then what? Where are we reaching with all this? You should realize we're not reaching anywhere, guys. Anywhere whatsoever. So let me just see. A student was supposed to join us, so I'll just check if that person is joined. Yeah, not right now. Okay. Practice without absolute mastery of concepts is not going to cut it. Okay, please remember. Practice means timed practice. Untimed, so obviously we anyway practice, but timed practice. Another thing, there will be no magic. We have always talked about that exponential curve. Initially, the progress is very slow. Suddenly, it takes off as if it's a vertical takeoff. Initially, the progress is very slow. Any topic you are solving, CR you are solving, but we don't persist. उसके पहले ही give up कर दोगे तो कैसे होगा? There's always a training curve that this will be very, very, very painful, but we have to persist. We don't, then there is a problem. Break down the entire process. How to solve this CR argument? Where is the conclusion? What are we trying to do? What is our goal? What are we trying to prove? So many times I have to tell, we are trying to prove the author wrong or right. That also people don't know many times. Then what is the smallest of tweaks that you need in the process? That is where error logs come into picture. Everything comes. Another big problem, people are just नहीं, मेरे हिसाब से तो बी ही सही है, जबकि आंसर ओजी में सी दिया हुआ है. इससे ज्यादा बड़ी बेवकूफी क्या हो सकती है कि ओजी में आंसर सी दिया और आप अपने आप को बी डिफेंड कर रहे हैं. एंड यू आर फाइटिंग अबाउट इट ऑन द इंटरनेट आल्सो एंड विद अस आल्सो. देयर आर पीपल हु डन दैट. What's the point? There is nothing wrong in the official. The official material may be useless, but it is not wrong. Absolutely not a single question is wrong there. So this is where, again, we say that we do not teach non-official content from various exams, but only official. So wrong logic you have to accept. If there is a mistake in the material, that is okay. That is, we will fix it. We have in fact updated our content one more time, just telling if you want. We can definitely share that over Zoom itself. We'll see whenever we can share. But clearly we'll share that. But the update is only in the errors. There is no other update. One or two minor errors if there are there ki B ka kabhi C likh diya tha, that also will, that is corrected. No other changes there, so don't panic about this. As I said, initially up to this point, there will be barely any improvement. पर मैंने अगर यहीं पे क्विट कर दिया कि मैं तो एक महीने से पढ़ रहा हूँ आरसी, मेरा तो 20% भी नहीं आता है एक्यूरेसी, you will not realize it will suddenly jump it suddenly. But that's what we have to give it some amount of practice and time, some amount. Definitely it will happen. Another thing, what all you should not do, you will see these people writing to me every single day. It's only for you to read. Exam anxiety, this is okay, it is for real. But it is for real only for those, even if 770 people say, I was anxious, they were anxious for the first 1 to 2 minutes. Not that they completely blanked out. 1 to 2 minutes of anxiety is human. In fact, that is fine. But this complete blankness, I'm reading but not registering, that haze, same thing. Nothing seemed to be registering, couldn't concentrate. उसका रीजन ये नहीं है कि आपको एंजाइटी था, उसका रीजन है कि जो आपको द वर्क दैट वी आस्क्ड यू टू डू यू डिडंट डू. LSAT content 50 papers RC and CR, if you do, I guarantee this problem will not be there. But why are we in such a big hurry? Why would we not? And this is not for RC. And some people think RC and CR, why should I focus? This is your problem of reading and comprehension. Quant is also what? Reading and comprehension before solving. Reading and comprehension only. SC, DI, those of you who learned DI with me in the Focus Edition batches, every single class I have been saying DI, you will not believe. People think DI is about percentage and ratio. No, DI is about reading correctly and comprehending correctly. So if your RC and CR are so sharp, then you are very fast on the uptake in every single thing. Speed goes up, blankness will never come. Nothing seemed to be registering, will not happen, couldn't concentrate. हो ही नहीं सकता ना. If you've done 50 papers, it's impossible that, but we've given 50 papers, barely anybody solving. If you're solving a few, then you're giving up again. Giving up, करना है तो छोड़ दो ना. Quitting is the easiest thing. फिर यही बोला है मैंने अभी. I solved 15,000 questions. Some people come and there are obviously, if you've joined 5 institutes, there are people who join 5, 7, 8 institutes also. Obviously, one will give you some 3,000 questions. So 15,000 took 35 mocks. Couldn't apply even one technique on the test day. I went back to my intuition. So how are people then scoring well? Because you did not develop it to that level. Again, please, you might feel I'm blaming you, but learning depth से ही तो आएगा ना. जो जेई में IIT जेई में जो फर्स्ट रैंक लाता है उसकी डेप्थ बेटर होती होगी ना जो 8,000 रैंक लाता है. ये मानना तो पड़ेगा ना हमको. कोई भी पर्सन जो IIT जेई नंबर 1 रैंक लेके आता है, that person will be having better depth than someone who scores 8,000th rank. Why is that so difficult for us to accept and build that depth? It's not math background, non-math background. All this is not logical. It's not correct. So let me see if there is someone who is I have invited and joined. Right. Let's continue. Don't operate less than. ये तो करना पड़ेगा ना. I mean, how? Because if you want the next 30 years to be the best years of your life, first 3 months should be spent in the best possible way, and then those 3 hours should be spent in the best possible. This 3-month period of prep and this 3-hour period of the exam, you ensure that goes the best way you can do on that day. Then 30 years can change. Else, we are shooting in the dark. करना ही नहीं चाहिए. ऐसे आधी अधूरी तैयारी करके कुछ नहीं होने वाला. Pacing charts we've given you very, very clearly, but we just get tangled. So many people write to me, mock में, real test में मेरा पूरा pacing, but आपको chart दिया है. 2.5 minutes exit time दिया हुआ. That all is given to you when your classes get over. All this is given to you. In the study plan, it is given. Everywhere it is given. Another, we do this that we judge the level of questions. That question 1, 2, 3. Fourth was so easy, that means I made a mistake. You don't realize you are not a great judge of the level of questions. Data sufficiency, some people laugh at the questions in the beginning. Oh, 7x is even, ye koi question hua, 5x is even. And they make such a blunder in this question also. And this is an 800 level problem because nobody gets it right in the beginning. So you are not the right person to judge the level of questions. Unfinished sections involve penalty. Sorry. So don't let anything remain unfinished. And RC is 100%. That is why too many wrong in a row will not work. And that's why we've been saying, Master, daily I receive emails once again about the same thing. RC, you have not put in the work. And please don't say, because there are people who say I was at 28% accuracy. One class later, I went to 85% accuracy. There are people who say I have watched, आपने स्मिता का video देखा होगा, I've given it in the book itself. Not for my publicity. Please remember, there is always a lesson when I'm saying it. I've given Jignesh's example because I know Jignesh was one person who was not aware of what was happening in surroundings. 12 o'clock midnight on 31st December, that person was doing CR marathon. We have talked about. So ये attitude आपका अगर है तो मानो, नहीं है तो मत. At least मानो तो सही कि नहीं हूं मैं इस level पे. 28% accuracy to 85% in one class. Then you say that no, I'm not able to do RC. I can only tell you it is doable. Do it the way I ask you to do. Then again, disagreeing with my answers. I mean, what is the point? I've explained something in the video. Disagreeing with my answer and saying, नहीं, मुझे तो B ठीक है, but मुझे फिर भी E सही ज्यादा लगता है. I mean, I've marked B. There must be a reason. Find a way to accept why it is wrong, not why it is right. These are attitudinal changes. I mean, will you believe me? Not even once till the time, since the time I have taken up these exams, not even once I have challenged even one answer. I accepted my mistake immediately. हाँ, गलती है तो गलती है. Problem क्या है? There is a mistake, there is a mistake. I mean, you have to tweak, because official answers are always correct. It's a battle you will never win, and you will become very bitter about it then. या मेरे thought process के हिसाब तो एक भी आंसर ठीक नहीं आता. उनका तो लॉजिक ही अलग चलता है. उनका लॉजिक ही सही लॉजिक है, आपका लॉजिक गलत है, ये समझो. Understand that your logic is wrong. Simple answer is this. Understand that. Okay. And we really don't want to understand this. Another, I have already talked about this, and these are important things. Now, irreparable damage, wrong content and wrong people can inflict. पहली बात तो anything non-official, you should never study. Nothing. Even if you're going to GMAT Club for practice, please filter official. Official content, over the years, there have been some exceptionally top quality questions also. I say OG is useless because OG is actually useless for most of it. Overall official content is not bad, and official means it could be GMAT or GRE or LSAT. One and the same, sabka level wahi hai. Anything is fine. GMAT definitely contains Quant, GRE contains, LSAT contains only RC and CR. Genuinely. Let's understand it from these points of view. Okay. In case Ojasvi is there, she can raise hands. Just a second. I'm not sure I called her at this time. So. Oh, yes, Ojasvi, you're here. 1 second. Just a second. I'll come to your slide first of all. Let me just get this out. Just a second. Oh, yeah, you're here. Kept it around this only. So I will stop the share. Can you just start your video, please?
Sure, sir.
1 second. Yeah, I'll just stop the share. Hey, hi.
Good morning.
Morning. So let me just take you through her slide as well. I mean, I did share the details, but still. So this is her detail. Very recent scorer, 760. You chose this date deliberately.
No, sir, that just happened by chance.
Right. And yeah, I mean, this is what our detail about her. Look at the detail that she submitted initially. And this should tell you something that people in the first attempt can score a 760. And if you look at the background and it say that no, you have to be from an IIT or something. She's from Christ University. And nothing to denounce about Christ University. You had great results from Christ University. But I mean, people have this perception, and that is why. So I'll just stop this. And 780 people are listening right now, so it's a good number. Yes. How was your journey? Please tell.
Of course, sir. So thank you for calling me onto this call. It's I didn't ever expect that I'd be here giving sharing my experience. But I'll just begin with a quick breakdown of how I approached my prep. So as I mentioned before, I took around 3 months, and this was basically divided over 2 phases. My first phase was a little slow. I took my sweet time with it. I dedicated about 2 months to the class sessions. Just for everyone's awareness, I was part of the self-paced course. So I, just took my own time with the class sessions. And I put in a lot of time into this and effort because this was the foundation building, right? This is where I laid down the groundwork for what was going to help me later achieve the score. Compared to the last month, which was intensive practice,
right.
I put down, I actually didn't put in too much time just because that's the sort of student I am. I put in around, I think, 3 to 4 hours of practice in the last month, which was basically me practicing from the 700 to 800 level PDF and writing mocks, especially the top mocks, because they set a really high standard for us to achieve. But yeah, I mean, that's basically what I did. Just a disclaimer, it's entirely possible to complete it in a time period shorter than what I took. I just took that because I wasn't restricted by any time constraints. But if there's any student who has to, achieve the score in 1 to 2 months, it's entirely possible. And I think that we've seen that from the multiple success stories that Sandeep sir has shared with us.
All right. Take us through each of the areas. Quantitative, what was tricky? Was data sufficiency tricky? Were some areas tricky for you? Similarly, verbal, SC, CR, RC, everything, please.
So for Quant, I was weak at Quant at the beginning, mostly when it came to actually answering the questions. I think my theory was good, and especially during the 2 months that I put into the class sessions. I strengthened my theory, but I don't think I put in that much time towards logic application because that's the essence of all questions, Quant especially, and verbal. But I figured I should have put more time into answering questions more efficiently. I tended to get stuck with the theory and the reason why the answer is right, and that probably didn't really help me in Quant, but I tried to rectify that in the last month. So just if you're beginning off with Quant, you should, I think from the beginning, from the outset, you should just try to find the fastest solution that you can apply the logic and reach the answer. And I think so there's a lot of tips for that. For data,
was there any particular topic in maths that you struggled more than the other one, and then the DSCs?
Yeah, so I think the topic I struggled with was probability and permutations and combination for some reason. I think it's the trickiest out of them all. You can understand the logic. I mean, you can understand the theory, but when it comes to the question, even the smallest detail can make you select the wrong answer. So I think that's what I usually struggled with. No matter how much time I would put into, I would generally have to find the quickest solution towards that. But the most, even though I was really scared of PNC, I probably got only one question from that.
Right.
I mean, it's good to work on your weaknesses, but it's not really good to get stuck on it to the point where you not give attention to the other more important topics.
Right. And how about data sufficiency?
Data sufficiency was easy because of like the hacks that you taught. Mostly, if it looks like it's C, it's probably not going to be, and you shouldn't fall for the first answer, basically.
Okay.
In a little more effort and learn to like not entirely solve the question because it really helps in timing then. I don't
Right.
generally tend to try to find the answer so that we're entirely sure, but you need to be confident in your
Right.
technique.
How about verbal? Break it down each area and then, yeah, what all you studied and how you went about.
So for verbal, out of all of three sections, for me, SC was the toughest. And I think it was mostly because we had to get over that hump of learning the theory. It was the basics were quite intensive, but they really help. It took me some time to get over it, but when it came to answering the questions, you won't even realize, but you just know the answer and you know what's wrong and what's correct because of the amount of time that you put into strengthening your basics. So for SC, it was my weakest area. I put in a little bit more time in that. But for RC and CR, I think the tools that you taught, they just really helped. RC, because I started applying Octave from the beginning, and I don't even think I put in that much practice. I would have solved, even in the last month of practice, I basically solved like 10 RC passages a week. But I just made sure that those 10 that I do, I really learn from my mistakes. So I didn't put too much time towards RC because that was my like strong point. But I also made sure that I kept in touch with it and not entirely give up on it.
Right.
So yeah. And for CR, I found conditional reasoning to be tough.
Right.
The ones because of your extremes test and negate tests and actually identifying the conclusion immediately. But I think conditional reasoning was tough, but I don't remember getting a question in the paper now.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, CR, one thing in verbal is that elimination is like the way to go about it. I think because I started, listening to your logic behind eliminating like eliminating the options, it really helped me because the moment I would look at it, I would eliminate at least 3 out of the 5, and I would basically just spend the rest of the time trying to see which one of the remaining two is like the answer.
Take us through the content you studied overall in each of the areas. Like after the basics, did you go through all of 700 to 800 and the portal, or did you skip some?
So for Quant, I went through all of the 700 to 800 level questions. Majority, I think that said covered about 80% of the PDF. I put in more times into Quant because I found that to be weaker than verbal. And I put in more effort towards solving the sectional mocks as well for Quant. What I would usually do in the last month, after getting comfortable with the topics, was that I do maybe Quant on one day and the next day I do one section of verbal and the next day I dedicate to Quant again. And generally I would start off by just solving that 1 hour sectional mock. And I think the key is to just learn from your mistakes as well. My accuracy in that was not great. So I would have at least 8 to 10 questions that I need to rectify. And then, based on the results of my mock, I would kind of choose which topic to work on during that day. So just kind of had to work on your weaknesses and practice at the same time. Practice a mixed bag of questions for Quant. For verbal, I didn't use any other, content besides what you have. Like the content that you share is pretty comprehensive and you don't even need to search for any other. I joined GMAT Club, but I never really used it. So I'd say for verbal, the class sessions really help because it, provides very structured approach to how we should tackle it. And it gives us sufficient practice in each type of question. And I did solve 700 to 800 level questions in each of them. But in CR, I would see that I came across a lot of questions that are done in class sessions. So I would face this problem where I've seen the question before, so I'm not really learning anything new. I would know the answer, but I wouldn't let myself get tricked by that accuracy. So I think a great, PDF was the last minute mega practice. I didn't really use it last minute because it's got so many questions also. So I ended up throughout the last 3 weeks.
Right. And what was the exam experience like psychologically also and actual, unusual, usual, same type, what you've done? Just tell us.
Right. So I started off with verbal because I just believe that I need to put in more effort towards getting the right answer in verbal, and quant is something that's pretty black and white. You don't really need to, if you know it, you know it, you can't try to figure out the answer or take the paper. So I went ahead with verbal first. And since it was my first attempt, I didn't really realize how tough the timing would be. I did practice timing quite a lot. I would have an average of like 2 minutes or 1.5 minutes per a verbal question. But for some reason during the paper, I was also sick when I wrote the paper, and I'd been sick for the last 4 or 5 days. So I just wanted to get it over with. I wasn't really expecting a good score. But when I wrote the paper, I finished, I think, 12 questions, and I realized it took half an hour to do that. And that's when like something just clicked in me, and I realized I can't, go through my normal approach where I basically eliminate and then try to test the logic in the remaining two answers. So I went into an autopilot mode and I started solving questions intuitively. But that intuition was basically what stemmed from my foundation building and my practice, not something that
Right.
carried over from before I joined Top. And that really helped. I didn't have time to second guess any question. I didn't have time to like even think about whether I'm right or wrong. I had like your 10-second approaches in SC, and in CR it was eliminating. And RC, I made sure that I kind of understood the passage. I didn't give myself even like the, comfort level to even go through the passage a second time. Only when I reached questions where I had to point and verify did I read that paragraph again. So I basically solved around, I think, 25 questions in half an hour. So that ended up being helped in verbal. Yeah.
Anything unusual you remember, or because of the autopilot, you don't even remember now? So.
No, I mean, because I was able to attempt those questions because I've seen questions like that before in our practice, and I don't recall seeing anything out of the blue in
Okay.
even
Right.
the RC passages. It just felt like I've read those before.
Oh, that's
They're
great.
very similar in structure to.
And you got 44, which goes on to show you wouldn't have had any major mistakes there. Probably 2 mistakes overall. So how about the quant experience now? Please let us know.
Quant was also tough for timing. I did come across a lot of simple questions because I practiced a lot of efficient mocks. So I was kind of aware of like what type of questions I'll be getting. So they weren't too tough. I'd say I got a few 700 to 800 level questions towards the end. But I didn't actually attempt all of them. I did skip quite a few because I knew that I would rather put in that effort to questions I will be able to solve. So I got a 149 instead of a 51 on that. But I could have definitely done better. That's the weakness I had in Quant, was that if I see a question, I don't know the instant hacks to apply to it. And if I had practiced that from the beginning, I would have been able to do better on Quant. So nothing out of the blue. The questions were definitely, things that we've practiced in top content. I think it was actually easy. I just wasn't in the right mind space, like headspace to answer all of them. I was already running out of time and I was really sick, and I just wasn't expecting a good score. I was expecting myself to like write it again.
What were you expecting then, roughly?
I was expecting like a 710.
Okay. That's just phenomenal in that case. Your expected score, if you beat, and that to by 50 points, that's really awesome. Really awesome. Any tips for people who are preparing right now? This is what they should do and shouldn't do. What would you say?
So just to give like a bit of disclaimer about the type of student that I'm the sort of person who relies more on the method of deep work rather than quantity. But that's just because I'm that sort of student. I didn't solve too many questions. In SC, I think entirely I solved 250 questions, and that was my weakest area. The 100 questions that you had taught, the 100 most important, and then 150 during the month of practice. And it still helped, But that's because if I get anything wrong, I would really put in the time to understand how to fix that. But of course, if you're the sort of student who thinks that, you would benefit more from solving more questions, you should definitely do that. And any other tips? I do have like a quick PDF I created because a bunch of people reached out to me and I wanted to just share that while it's fresh. So I'd be happy to share that link across as well to anybody who wants to reach out.
Yeah, you share with me and I can pass on then. In that case, that'll be easier then.
Yeah, that has like more specific tips that it'll just become really long.
Okay, anything that you feel people should not do. So that is another thing. If you feel there's anything.
I think, maybe not stretch the amount of time that you're preparing for the exam just because you have the time. Like it's better to just, set those expectations and standards for yourself and not think that, oh, I have time, I can just write this again. Just try to give it your best in the 1 or 2 months that you're preparing. You know,
Awesome.
Yeah, and I mentioned the weaknesses that I had in quant. If I were to like tell you for you to like get a quant 51, just make sure that you understand like the reason behind why you're solving the question, because GMAT is not trying to test how well you understand the theory, right? It just wants you to be able to apply the logic and reach the solution. And generally, the toughest looking questions have the simplest answers, and the easiest
Yeah.
have like some sort of hack that you like a trap that you might fall for.
Right. And what's the plan now? You'll want to apply in round 2 this year or next year, round 1?
Yeah, so I'm still deciding. I have some time before like the round 2
Hmm.
applications, the deadline. So
Hmm.
I'm planning on working right now. So
Right. That's great. That's great to know. Do finish the Know the World series now, as you discussed with me, and that really put you completely a class apart. Frankly, it's really helped many people. So just take care and keep in touch, and let me know your progress and updates if there are any. Right. Thank you. Thanks for joining in. You were not you at the last minute you decided not to travel or something. Is that how?
I just postponed it to tomorrow.
Okay, fine. All right, Ojasvi, thank you very much for joining in. It was great interacting. And as we did probably over a call as well, that's an extension. Right. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So, as we can see very clearly, once again, depth over anything else. Build at depth. And she said she solved only 250 questions, but it was really the best possible. So as I've been saying also that I've solved 1000 questions, but I'm still not reaching anywhere. That sort of an approach really is not going to cut it, guys. So we're very clear about one thing, and that is depth. Kind of ascertained again by this person. So let's see. Now I'll discuss topic by topic. Before that, if we had something remaining, let's see very quickly. Some of the stuff, some parts will be overlapping because they need that sort of mindset building. And we were talking about wrong content and wrong people. So let's see. Non-official content, just don't solve anything. Even if you go to GMAT Club, if there is a content that is not official, official means officially made by GMAT or GRE or LSAT, anything else is useless. Okay, another thing, content that is easier. If you're targeting a 770 score, solving a 500 level question, even if you solve 10,000 questions, it's really a very bad idea. Frankly, it's not, because challenge yourself with the toughest content. People have differing opinions on this, and they'll say, how will I solve a 700 level question if I can't solve? Challenge yourself. We can always, is true, 500 if you can solve, you can't solve a 700 level. 700 level if you can solve, you can solve a 500 level. Please don't say that, but if I don't even reach 700, how will I solve? Not at all. Completely wrong logic. Completely wrong. An IIT topper, can that person not solve 8th standard mathematics? Always ask yourself that. That person can solve 8th. The 8th standard student can't solve JEE mathematics. So it should always be the other way around. Okay, that is why the only way we become smarter and more efficient is by accepting a challenge. And it's like lifting foam weights in a gym. This is it. Your brain just doesn't expand. You want to really get better. Why have we given CR topic wise, and some questions seem so difficult? They're so difficult. There is a reason behind that. We want you to be challenged to the absolute hilt. But then once again, giving up is not a solution. Another very important thing, nobody who has scored a 780 at least is right advisor. If your friend is there in some WhatsApp group, that person has not even written the exam, or that person has got 550, we want to listen to a friend because that's the person we trust, because you feel everybody's out to sell something. Not at all true. Not at all true. Nobody's out to sell if you are not willing to buy. That's the point. But please look at advice from someone who knows the game. You cannot take advice from someone who has never scored, because we want to belong. First of all, if you're this desperate for the need to belong, you will remain very mediocre. You'll remain very mediocre. You will genuinely remain very mediocre. In a company, every employee can cry. Who does the CEO go and cry to? Think about it. Who does the founder go and think? You're really this social thing till the time your GMAT is going on. These are not helping. These are not helping. These are not helping. These are not helping. Question of the day. Question of the day, if that was the case, then people will never be scoring 770. जिनको ये मजा आता है ना कि यार किसी ने क्वेश्चन भेजा आज मैं सॉल्व करके देखता हूँ, कुछ नहीं होगा उससे। आपको कोई फायदा नहीं है, उसको फायदा हो रहा है जो वेबसाइट ने जिसने भेजा है। जनरल ओपिनियन, यू आर आस्किंग, द फर्स्ट थिंग इज आस्क समबडी हु हैज स्कोर्ड। जिसने 770 स्कोर लाया उससे पूछो, उससे नहीं पूछना। अपने फ्रेंड ने कहीं ज्वाइन किया उससे पूछना। इफ योर फ्रेंड हैज ज्वाइन, आई विल नेम इट, योर फ्रेंड हैज ज्वाइन जैम्बोरी, हाउ इज इट? If the person has not studied, if the person has got 500, you shouldn't ask how is it. You should ask someone even from Jamboree who has scored really well. Stop asking people, and it's not for commercial reasons. You have already paid me, so I have nothing commercial here. It's our attitude. आपको हार्वर्ड जाना है और आप पूछ रहे हो अपने पापा से मैं कैसे पढ़ाई करूं हार्वर्ड जाने के लिए, जो कभी हाई स्कूल किसी ने, there are people whose parents, don't mind my words, the person who has gone to Harvard, one of them, nobody from her family has gone to college. Nobody. Uska naam hai Sachi Shroff. You can check. She's our student. Harvard. She has gone to Harvard. Do you think she should have gone to her dad and asked, Dad, how should I prepare to? We are such hopeless creatures in this regard. Ask an expert who has achieved. आपको public speaking करना है 500 लोगों के लिए. Ask someone who has spoken from stage to 5,000 people or at least 500. Whatever you want to do, please ask somebody who knows the game. Don't ask a friend just because someone is a friend. Ask someone who is genuinely an expert. And we do this wrongly. I'm telling you how big a disease this is. No matter what happens, it's a solo journey. If you want the comfort of other people, आप कंफर्ट ही ले पाओगे, आप स्कोर नहीं ले पाओगे। ये ध्यान रखना। एक भी चीजों में बोल रहा हूं क्योंकि यू हैव ऑलरेडी पेड मी, दिस इज नॉट टू सेल एनी आइडिया, प्लीज, दिस इज फॉर लाइफ। You want to follow someone, you follow someone who knows the game better than you. You follow someone. I have learned Hollywood के स्क्रिप्ट राइटर, सो मेनी ऑफ देम, उनसे मैंने स्टोरी टेलिंग सीखा जिनके स्टूडेंट्स ने ऑस्कर जीता हुआ है। मैंने स्टोरी टेलिंग बाजू वाले किसी ने नहीं सीखा अपनी कॉलोनी में कि हाँ ये 5 लोगों को, उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है ना। दिस इज द पॉइंट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से। प्लीज नेवर फॉलो समबडी, एनीबडीज एडवाइस, नो मैटर। वी आस्क आवर फ्रेंड्स. Somebody who gives a wrong review about something, and once again, it's not about me, it's not about any, every institute has good and bad reviews, everybody. If that person, you ask, did you score, if that is the point, then that review is of use totally. Random mocks, हर एक कोई free mock देता है तो हम सारे ही mocks लिख ले, नहीं लिखना है आपको, वो काम के नहीं है कुछ भी। This is one more thing we keep doing, random mocks. If I have given you 25 mocks and I have given you equivalent of 25 more mocks, this is the same thing in the focus edition. We have given an equivalent of 25 mocks. This will be released at the right moment. Do you need more than this? Not at all. Not at all. You don't need. GMAT has released only 2. No institute apart from GMAT has released even 1. We have 25 equivalent mocks. Do you need more than that? You just don't need. The content given by us, nobody is able to finish fully. Despite that, we would just go random. Another thing, I am not sure where I'm going wrong. I'm repeating this because I know this is the problem people tell each other. I have done everything. You always know. I don't know what went wrong on that test day. I guarantee you always know. Deep within your heart, you always know. You don't want to face up. Mirror में देखने का courage लेके आओ. Reality check करना पड़ेगा आपको अगर कर. I want a plan. इससे बड़ा बेवकूफी कुछ नहीं हो सकती. The plan is already there. Nobody asks for a plan who has scored till now. क्योंकि वो plan जो दिया उसका क्या फिर? वो फॉलो नहीं करना, 1 महीने तक कुछ नहीं करना। मेरी क्लास खत्म हुई जून में, अभी सितंबर आ गया, मैंने कुछ नहीं पढ़ा 3 महीने। अब मुझे फिर से बताओ क्या प्लान है? प्लान तो वही रहेगा ना। प्लान कैसे बदल जाएगा? आपने नहीं पढ़ा तो भी वही प्लान है। आपने नहीं पढ़ा तो प्लान कैसे बदल जाएगा? जीमैट तो नहीं बदला अभी तक। फोकस एडिशन है तो फोकस एडिशन का प्लान, वॉट एवर इट इज। आई वॉन्ट ए प्लान। स्टॉप सेइंग दिस। आई एम सेइंग दिस अगेन एंड अगेन बिकॉज इट टेल्स यू डोंट वांट टू डू व्हाट यू हैव बीन आस्क्ड टू डू। शॉर्टकट होता तो शॉर्टकट ही देता ना मैं आपको। फिर या तो सेटल करो ना, हाँ ठीक है, I'll get 665, I'll get that, I'll just not bother about a higher score. Then settle for that score. Give me a plan. No way, because this is not going to cut it. I am not shirking my labor. Please remember, we are not saying that we don't want to help you. We are saying that this doesn't help. Genuinely, it doesn't help. Another thing, now we can study the right material, but we can study it wrongly. Every day I see globally thousands of people. I obviously keep track of what is happening, how people are studying outside of my institute also. Finishing, not mastering. Once again, no point finishing. What did she say? We would have given in SC alone 2,000 questions combined. Because there are obviously, she did 250 of them, but depth. That is the point. She said, I believe in deep work. Deep work is a book also, you should know. Deep work is when you just put your head down for hours, months, days and months, and you just do the work. Just do the work, not think about random things. Okay, please. I'm always left with last two options. It's as if this is a badge of honor. If this girl got a 760 and 44 in verbal, which means 2 mistakes in verbal, not even 3. How does that happen if this was her reality for all the options? There is a way to cut it then. And she was saying she was pretty weak at the verbal section also and quant section. No matter what happens, I cannot agree with one thing, that second answer is also correct. No close answers, no vague answers. There is only one correct answer. That one correct is the best of 5, sometimes not the best possible. You have to really start getting to that thing, and always analyze, always close. We don't analyze, we don't close. We are like, हाँ मैंने मैथ पढ़ा पर 15 दिन बाद I'm some completely blank. I can tell you, people who studied seriously, even 10 years later, they can recall without realizing. 5 minutes also they don't have to revise. 5 minutes also. Then because they're good at it, they're just good at it. It's not that something that will suddenly vanish. First time ही ठीक से नहीं किया तो कैसे आएगा ना यार वो चीज. I need revision. First time क्यों नहीं किया डिटेल में ठीक से. And you want to revise the at least second revision में complete करो पूरा अच्छे से. That's where. And deadline pressure तो कभी भी नहीं. She said that, oh, she should start. She did not mean deadline for a college. In your internal mind, you should have some sense of time कि हाँ इतने दिनों में हो सकता. We have said 240 hours is the good enough time. You want to study 4 hours a day, you can do it in 60 days. You want to study 5 hours a day, you can do it in 48 days. That's a 50 days roughly. You want to study 3 hours a day, you can do it in 80 days. The number of hours will not change. So that's the point. 240 hours is all you need to give. Again, learning under time pressure. That means when you're learning, when you're mastering, that time you also have time pressure. Absolutely no. When you're mastering or learning, forget that you are learning for the GMAT. Just forget you are learning the subject. Just forget that there is GMAT to be written in the next 1 month. Otherwise, learning does not finish. Mastery आपको अगर करना है उस टाइम पे सिर्फ mastery करना हो aim होना चाहिए. And I've been saying this because you should believe I have mastered at least 25 to 30 things in my lifetime. I was not good at one thing, even one thing. I have mastered. इसलिए मैं बोल सकता हूँ. Don't think of this as motivation. This is harsh reality. हम नहीं पढ़ते हैं इस तरीके से. फिर आपको बाकी लोगों को बाकी चीजों को ब्लेम करना है, सबको ब्लेम करना है. सबको ब्लेम कर सकते हैं हम, खुद को करना आना चाहिए. Every single distraction is going on. मैंने इतनी बार देखा है ये चीज कि लाइव क्लास चल रही है, लोगों का कॉल आ जाता है, दे स्टार्ट टॉकिंग. बोला है कि फोन दूर रखो, फोन मोबाइल बिल्कुल ही दूर रखो. कई लोग मोबाइल से क्लासेस अटेंड करते हैं. एवरी मिनट देयर इज अ नोटिफिकेशन. यू कांट गो ऑफलाइन ऑन द मोबाइल. यू कांट गो फ्लाइट मोड विद जूम ऑन. यू जस्ट कांट गो. आई हैव सेड कंप्यूटर पर सारे नोटिफिकेशन बंद रखो, दूसरे कमरे में रख के आओ फोन. दैट्स हाउ वी वांटेड टू स्टडी. चलता है ना लोगों को, चलता है क्योंकि सब चलता है यहाँ पे. इफ आई वर टू डू दैट, हाउ वुड यू फील? मैंने अगर 10 बजे का क्लास बोला है, कभी 10:01 भी शुरू नहीं होता, वो 10 बजे ही शुरू होता है. आई लॉग इन 10 minutes बिफोर सो दैट एवरीबडी इज कंफर्टेबल. आपका एटीट्यूड डिसाइड करता है बहुत सारी चीजें. ध्यान रखिए इस चीज का. अगेन ओपिनियन शॉपिंग, ओपिनियन लेना है तो उसका लो जिसका ओपिनियन काउंट करता है, जिसका ओपिनियन काउंट नहीं करता है उससे फायदा ही नहीं है बात करें. अनदर थिंग, बीइंग इन हरी टू मूव टू प्रैक्टिस टू सून, ऑलवेज अ डिजास्टर्स आइडिया. बिल्ड डेप्थ फर्स्ट. 95% अनटाइम्ड अगर एक्यूरेसी आ रही तब जाओ प्रैक्टिस करने. Too many mocks in a row? No, analyze your mocks first. If the mock says these are the 5 problems you have, one problem is concentration, one problem is, let's say, silly mistakes, one problem, let's say, I'm just randomly saying that you use intuition, one problem is some topic, bold-face, probability. Yes. जब तक ये फिक्स नहीं होगा तब तक दूसरा मॉक में भी यही रिजल्ट मिलेगा. Same result. You're stupid. You are really bad at probability. You can't concentrate. You have too many. Fix this, whatever it takes to fix. Then write another mock. What's the point of writing one mock, then the next mock, then it will give you the same message. And extra material. After the material that we have given, if you need extra material, honestly, you have not studied correctly. LSAT. अभी आज ही सुबह किसी का कल एक मेल आया कि मैंने RCCR पूरा कर लिया है, मुझे और मटेरियल चाहिए. कल, आई डोंट रिमेंबर हुज. इफ यू आर लिसनिंग इन, डोंट माइंड, आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग. You have LSAT 50 papers. I don't think you finished those. So please finish. There is a lot given. Portal पे दिया हुआ है. Not maintaining error logs from day one. People tell right now I can see every day. Oh नहीं, शुरू में तो मैंने कोई error log maintain ही नहीं किया. आपको दिया क्यों जाता है शुरू से फिर? Please maintain from very first day. Even when you do RC1, that session, do it. And absolutely organized. It should be spreadsheets because you can always edit. Definitely. One more problem. The moment we don't get something, we have no patience to think hard and let the solution occur to us. We just have to watch the video or we have to just read the solution so that we feel. By this logic, trust me, you never gain any confidence. Then you become a clapper. कि हाँ टीचर ने कितना बढ़िया सॉल्व किया, कितना अच्छा शॉर्टकट है, वाओ वेरी गुड, बट कॉन्फिडेंस उल्टा हो जाता है कि मुझसे तो कभी सॉल्व नहीं होगा ऐसे. So checking the solutions too soon. I've been saying this, I'm repeating because I know these are things you stop doing. कितनी भी बार बोल दो, अगर आपने सुना नहीं तो फायदा. I may have said this 50 times till now, 50 times definitely. But if you don't implement, then what's the point? What is the merit? Think hard. Sometimes a CR question, 2 दिन आपको बिल्कुल नहीं क्लिक होगा, third day you'll get it in a flash. But if you see the solution in the beginning itself, then you are not improving. Genuinely build that depth. Again, I'm saying. Again, we don't close कि ठीक है, मतलब आज पढ़ लिया, हाँ ठीक है, समझ तो आ गया, देखते हैं. फिर 3 दिन बाद उसके ऊपर फिर से वही मिस्टेक कर दी. Then you did not close. Close means I don't have to come back to this at all till my exam. We can close. मैंने अपना एग्जाम्पल अपना, एंड प्लीज आई नेवर से एनीथिंग टू ब्रैग, आई एम जस्ट सेइंग आई हैड सच अ मैसिव प्रॉब्लम विथ माय रीडिंग. अगर आपने मेरी स्टोरी पढ़ी है, इतना प्रॉब्लम होता था, एक लाइन भी समझ में नहीं आता था. तो मुझे इतना फ्रस्ट्रेशन हुआ एक दिन कि मेरे को पूरी डिक्शनरी याद कर लेना चाहिए एक बार में. आई रियली रिमेंबर द एंटायर ऑक्सफोर्ड एडवांस लर्नर्स डिक्शनरी आता था उस टाइम पे. इट वाज 4th edition when I was doing that. 3rd and 4th edition. It had 57,000 entries. 55,000 words I could remember. आज भी आप मुझे एक वर्ड भी पूछ लो, कोई सा भी 55,000 में से, in an instant I can give you words, synonyms, antonyms. अब ये कि 3 दिन बाद मैं भूल जाता हूँ, और ये कि मैंने तो 14 years की एज में किया था, I have not forgot. There is a difference. There is a difference. आपको एक मूवी देखते हो, उसकी स्टोरी तो नहीं भूल जाते हो 3 दिन के बाद. There is a difference. Your brain application has to enjoy the process. Genuinely, I mean, and I was not preparing for an exam at that time. I was so engrossed, 14, 15, 16 hours a day. I had the dictionary in my hand and only doing that thing. मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूँ आप लोगों से, आपको अभी पता नहीं है तो मैंने एक सेशन दिया है जो नो द वर्ल्ड का लास्ट थिंग आया. I have a GRE session in that live session. Last year दिल्ली में किया था. Some of you may have attended that also. I had a group of 150 students attending. I took words from the students, wrote them on the board. All the words from the student, not one word from my side. First, I wrote all the 150 words and I Every single word I gave the synonym, antonym and the meaning to. Every single word. आप देखिए, सिर्फ इससे समझ में आएगा कि मास्टरी किसको कहते हैं और आपकी जो मास्टरी का लेवल है वो क्या है. Don't mind my words, guys, because that's where we falter and then we blame everyone except ourselves. That's the mastery I'm talking about. यहाँ पर GRE के लिए जो लोग पढ़ने आते हैं, एक वर्ड आज याद किया, शाम तक ये मीनिंग याद नहीं है. I am saying 35 years ago I did this. I'm 49 years of age right now. At the age of 14 I did this, and I still haven't forgotten a single word. That is the kind of mastery. And I don't have a photographic memory. I am not a genius. I'm not born special. None of those things. ये फिर हम और लगा लेते हैं, अरे उसका तो ब्रेन ही कुछ अलग बना है, वो तो ये है. Again, and we can't waste precious official material that मैंने एक बार सॉल्व कर लिया, अब तो मुझे आंसर याद हो गए. Then first time, why did you not solve thoroughly? First time, genuine thorough. Can you close something the very first time? I want new material. मुझे इतनी हंसी आती जब कोई ये बोलता है कि मैंने सब खत्म कर लिया. I need more RC practice. Seriously. And we don't do mixed bag practice also. We have given the portal only for mixed bag practice. So mixed sectional tests we don't do. We just keep doing topic by topic. This we have already discussed. Let's see, each of these is important. You might feel, ये तो सब मुझे पता है, तो मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता. अगर आपको पता है, आप implement तो नहीं कर रहे हो, इतना मैं जानता हूँ. I'm not taking any questions right now. Please don't raise hand. We'll take it up if possible, if I have time remaining at the end, because these are all self-explanatory things. Another thing, because it is the most important section, it is make or break. Please make sure you do 250 to 400 passages properly using Octave. You cannot just do that, oh, I practice, but I'm not improving. You please use Octave. I've told even in RC Inference Marathon, I have emphasized on verification only. People don't like, no, unless I understand. Then there are examples of people who say, I didn't understand a single word. Their RC accuracy is 100%. What I say definitely works. Just that you have to tweak that mentality. If you're obsessed about understanding, you may not have the luxury to understand. You may not have. On the planet, nobody gives anything like awareness and know the world. Everything aids in your RC, but that does not guarantee that every passage you will understand this irrespective. It's still something that you have to understand. If you don't understand a word in a passage on the exam day, do you want to understand the passage then, or do you want to get everything right? So please use the process and then if I say, please get the answer by verification first, then you can have the luxury to go and do some research on it. Let's maximize the probability that you will understand, but there is no guarantee. There is no guarantee. That's why each of those testimonials I have given in the RC booklet, they're of some use here. Smita's testimonials are not just given randomly. She had the maximum problem in RC and her accuracy was 100% on the exam day, which is part of both focus edition and current edition. So we are talking about both the things here. RC sorted can take is the test. You can just see this girl also we spoke to. RC was not a problem till the end. Okay, just one RC passage, and this happens daily. One passage and can spoil the entire party for you. The difference can be between an MBA and non-MBA. This happens in CAT also, by the way. GRE also, same thing. So please just take care that the process is given that works. It's not given. Otherwise, how will you see RC 100% score report? आपको दिखता है इतने सारे लोगों का. How will you see that score report otherwise? How? They are not from a different planet. They've also gone to some arts, commerce, engineering kind of college. Still, na milta hai logon ko score. Once again, 250 passages, you have to use Octave. Every word has to be used properly. Everything from Octave concept only. And the 90% job in Octave is verify. It's not opinion contradiction tone. Opinion contradiction tone can help you with one question per passage. 90% of RC is verify. I've been saying this. I go back to my default mode. Then what can I do here? मेरी क्या गलती है? मैंने तो बोला Octave से करो फिर. आपका problem आपका है फिर तो मेरा problem है ही नहीं फिर तो यहाँ पर. And we don't do daily. I have said this hundreds of times कि 4 passages रोज करा करो क्योंकि 4 आएंगे एग्जाम में. ये कहा गया है लेकिन नहीं करना है तो फिर I mean there will always be consequences for not following stuff that I've been saying. 4 passages said you got to find time. If that girl जिसका मैंने I forget Sejal, if she can find time, all of us can find time. Excuse देना सबसे आसान है, quit करना सबसे आसान है. This is really important. Not challenging ourselves with long and tough RCs every single day. We just don't like to do that because yes, it's frustrating in the beginning. Long sittings, we have said this so many. I'll repeat this point because people don't know what this means. At least 20 to 30 occasions, you have to find long sittings in RC and CR. Long sittings could mean 3 hours to start with, and they could go to 12 non-stop hours. Except biological weights, 12 hours non-stop you can do. You might feel, how can then ask people who have done it? They will tell you, did they do RC and CR for 12 hours? I did it myself. I used to do 14, 15, 16 hours of non-stop RC CR. Material खत्म हो जाता था, हर इंस्टीट्यूट का कैट का मटेरियल खत्म हो गया, सारा जी, everything else at everything. But whatever, I would go on a repeat mode कि आप कितना याद रहेगा एक साल बाद. I'll do it again. It took me 6 years, but I have mastered it to the level that I don't go wrong now at all. You don't need 6 years. I'm telling you, you don't even need 60 days. That's why it has been crystallized for you. But this is the point. You just can't take shortcut like that. Long sittings, if you do, you become very fast at comprehension of anything. You don't need to reread anything because your brain goes into a flow state. Flow state means things become so easy for you. The same test that would have taken so much time. We had a student who said that I took Quant about 20 minutes earlier, verbal about 15 minutes earlier. In July only there was a student. 20 minutes earlier, 15 minutes earlier Quant. Why? Not for any other reason. Flow state will come when you have long sittings. We had someone else called Divya who scored just in 40 days 770. And the reason why she could do so is long sittings. Again, we don't verify. If you're in a hurry, initially this can't be done. Impatience कि 2 ऑप्शन हैं, थोड़ा सा चेक किया, जो समझ आया नहीं ठीक है, अब एक तो मार्क करना ही, कैसे? Go back, आधा घंटा लगे तो भी choose the answer that you find. If you are choosing the wrong answer, ask yourself one thing. Please look at this. Whatever I'm saying is the most important takeaway for the 3 hours today. If you're marking a wrong answer, ask yourself, where did I find it, please? Where did I find it? Because it can't be found. अगर wrong है तो मिलेगा तो बिल्कुल नहीं passage. How did I find it? Where did I find it? Which means what? You did not find it, obviously. You either assumed something, or you misunderstood something, or you were impatient. These are the only 3 possibilities that I assumed. Or this. So please, just cannot be done like this, guys. Just cannot be done. Trying to verify why the correct answer is correct is a disaster. I've been saying this. You just can't do this because if you recall the Woodrow Wilson passage or any other passages, please don't raise hands, guys. I don't want right now. Please do not. This is not required. Please. Why the right answer is right is really a luxury that you can't afford on the test day. Jignesh told me he had a passage on music that was 800 level, not a word register, but he had a verbal score of 45. This girl told me, Smita, I had a passage on earthquakes that I just couldn't understand anything about. Accuracy in RC 100%. So this obsession, and we all have. जब मैं पहली बार वो passage discuss करता हूँ जिसमें asteroid passage, that there are 2 types of asteroids, rubble piles and monoliths. Most of you would have seen. Everybody is interested in knowing why the correct answer is correct. Even if it takes 1 hour, I am ready to explain if that is your insistence, but it is not useful. You should see, can I get the answers right? You can just get the answers by verification. Everybody has a problem. No, this I can teach, guys. Just satisfying your hunger is fine. I can teach, but please, this approach is wrong. We have talked about 200 passages, 50 tests, 4 passages per test. 200 passages are there in LSAT. You should solve non-stop towards. And non-stop means whatever you can do in one day, whatever. Towards then you got to do. Another, sometimes I've asked you background search also, RC awareness video number 3. We have given all the common topics. If you don't understand feminism, do a 15-minute search. If you don't understand something to do with the brain and its structure and how it functions, do a 15 minutes. It is for you later on. हर एक चीज आपके लिए फायदा होने वाला है. यहाँ पे नहीं, बी स्कूल में भी बहुत फायदा होगा if you do this, not just here. We really, and disagreeing with the correct answer मतलब yeah, I rest my case. Totally I rest my case. आप छोड़ ही दो तैयारी करना अगर ये आपका एटीट्यूड है. ये बिल्कुल ही गलत है एटीट्यूड. इसका कुछ नहीं होगा. आप कंडीशनल रीजनिंग पीपल डू नो, मेरे हिसाब से तो इफ देन ऑर्डर ही गलत है. Try to understand where you're wrong. Don't try to challenge and tell the official guide I'm right and you are wrong. We are not reaching anywhere, but we don't realize. Another, इसको भी लोग लाइबिलिटी मानते हैं कि क्यों ही करना, क्यों ही पढ़ना, क्या ही करना. आपकी मर्जी है, छोड़ दो, कोई बात नहीं. There are people who have raised $200 million based on this, 1650 crore rupees based on this learning. आपकी मर्जी, उसके बाद भी आपको छोड़ना है तो छोड़ दो. मैं आपको फिर से कह रहा हूँ, हार्वर्ड, वॉटन, केलॉग, बूथ, MIT, स्टैनफोर्ड, कोलंबिया, INSEAD, लंदन बिजनेस स्कूल, IIM अहमदाबाद, ISB, ये सारे इंस्टीट्यूट से हर एक MBA कर लो. उसके बाद भी आपको ये लर्निंग नहीं मिलेगा, कहीं पे भी नहीं मिलेगा. और यहाँ पे कितना पैसा लग जाएगा? $2 to $3 million लग जाएगा. ये फ्री में मिला है. मतलब ये एटीट्यूड है आप लोगों का कि पहला वीडियो है उसके ऊपर मुझे पता चलता है ना, व्हाई इज इट दैट आई हैव गिवन इट, बिकॉज एटीट्यूड से समझ में आता है. बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम है, बहुत सारे. And you think all of this is a liability. If it was a liability, why would I do this? Why would I take the pains to educate you then? Please understand. हमारे मोटिव में तो या हमारे इंटेंट में तो कहीं पे भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. करना तो आपको. But this girl came, did she say the top person did a bad job, Sandeep? I had not known this girl. I don't remember even one email from this person. I don't remember even one support call. Not even one. Finally score खुद ही आया. Because the tools are there. We don't have a problem when you ask for help, guys. Please remember, we help at every level, but you also have to realize there's a certain thing given, you got to follow it. You can see RCCR दोनों में आता है ना 100% score. ऐसा ये तो आता ही है ना, मैं आपको मजाक तो कर नहीं रहा हूँ. You do get score like this. Wrong approach to CR also. Let's see, learning something in a hurry. Some people are naturally strong at CR. That is also correct. They are able, generally, if they run a business, etc., or if they work in consulting, normally CR becomes a very day-to-day thing for them. It's a very normal thing. It is. Otherwise, if you are a weak person in CR, it takes a really, really long time to understand. This is part of the focus edition also, so it applies to both. And everything. Plus, one more thing that people do wrongly is never very satisfied with the correct or the wrong answer. Somehow, ठीक है, अब मेरे पास कुछ argument ही नहीं है oppose करने का, I'll accept it. This person will not reach much far if you say I'll just accept the logic because I don't have anything better. You can't say I'll just accept. You should say, yes, in my blood and bone, I believe this is right. Then I somehow will accept the logic. You're not going anywhere in CR. Anywhere. Don't somehow accept the logic. Be very, very clear. Use the internet very extensively when you're learning CR. You will genuinely get supremely good perspectives of experts only. Don't try to get into the perspective of random people. They can justify all the 5 options. Okay. Another teaching level certainty. You got to have this. You have to have this. इसके अंदर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, आप क्यों जाते हो जब आपको पहले ही क्लियर नहीं? 30 मिनट लगे, लगने दो, पूरा एनालाइज करो डिटेल में. 3 दिन लगे, लगने दो. Got to analyze. I've been saying this, and then what will you do? I remember, मैं फिर से example दे रहा हूँ. I've shared this in one live batch. In 1996, for 47 days, I joined IIM Ahmedabad. I left for a different reason. At that time, Delhi Metro Rail Corporation was coming up. DMRC was the full name. It had not started. Iska pura proposal tha. We were given a 72-page case study. This is our day 3 in IIM Ahmedabad. 2 hours of time to read. It had data, matlab 50 page ka to data hi hoga uske andar. Some people were at page number 6 by the time some people said, done. When are we starting? Why are we delaying? the discussion. And I can tell you, I could think of 3 possible answers. I could read only 7 pages. There were people who had read all 72 pages and they had 19 dimensions की एक चीज की environmental this, public sentiment this, financial this. They had, I mean, as if कि वो president of a country उस level पे debate कर रहे थे वो लोग. तो अगर आप CRE ठीक से नहीं पढ़ के जाओगे तो ये क्या करोगे? और ये तो सिर्फ IIM अहमदाबाद है फिर. And I'm not kidding, guys. I'm not joking. I had 7 pages read, not because I was slow at reading, but there was so much to comprehend, so much. Every line, there's so much subtlety, there's so much data comprehension. When I could think about 3 possible dimensions, there were people who could think about 19 points written out. उनको जब प्रेजेंट करने को बोलोगे तो वही जाएंगे ना मैकिंजी में, उसके बाद वही जाएंगे मैकिंजी में, उन्हीं का ग्रेड सबसे अच्छा. And don't think that it's theoretical. It's not. So if you don't build your foundation correctly, and I'm not trying to scare you, I'm just telling you, होते हैं ना कुछ लोग, they are supremely sharp. Be that person. Who is stopping us from becoming? नहीं, हम give up कर. I have said this so many times. Please, there is no problem. After that, since that day, it was such a disaster for me. मैंने HBR लिया सारे के सारे पुराने case studies because you can buy them. I Harvard Law and Harvard Business School. मैंने एक केस स्टडी भी मिस नहीं किया उसके बाद. So you can purchase them. Obviously, it's a premium. And I see the discussion even today, after so many years. I see a 22-year-old student defeating me in his totally by the logic that that person is. They have so many things to talk about, and I'm talking about connecting the dots, know the world. मतलब मैं हैरान रह जाता हूँ कि ऐसा भी कोई सोच सकता है आज भी. तो ये होते हैं लोग और यही आपकी कंपटीशन. एंड इफ यू कांट सॉल्व सीआर देन फॉरगेट इट. देन फिर तो अपने बबल में रहो ना. ठीक है, 6 लाख 8 लाख 12-15 लाख की जॉब कर लोगे, थोड़ा आगे बढ़ जाओगे, 30-40 हो जाएगा लाइफ लॉन्ग. या तो आपको वो है कि सीईओ बनना है किसी कंपनी का, और या तो ये है कि हाँ ठीक है, यू डिसाइड दैट थिंग. आई एम सेइंग आफ्टर डूइंग सो मेनी इयर्स, ऑलमोस्ट मैं कितने साल का था, 22 years. And I'm 49, as I said. After so many years, 27 years later, Harvard के students at 22, 23, 24 are able to stump me with their thought process. Stump me completely. तो please अपना level तो बढ़ाना पड़ेगा ना. अब पहला ही सवाल में कि नंबर परसेंटेज ही समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. मैं बोल सकता हूँ परसेंटेज नंबर a smart 5th grade student can understand. A smart student of physics. Either you accept that I'm dumber than a 5th grade smart student also. Guaranteed. Some people just don't like to go through that process. नहीं, मेरे से तो percentage में thinking ही नहीं होता. Get over this, guys. Get over this. One has to really, really up the game. I see only one way out. You really do the hard yards, do the hard thinking. If you send me the question, we can explain. Remember, you're not preparing for the next question. Think hard. It should come to you, because it is essentially only person that will remain with you is you and your mind and your brain. कोई हाथ में हाथ पकड़ के साथ लाइफ लॉन्ग नहीं सिखाएगा आपको, ना कोई हेल्प. वहां कौन हेल्प करेगा 20 स्कूल में? एवरीबडी इज फॉर देमसेल्व्स. पीपल आर सो सेल्फिश, यू कांट इमेजिन. दे हैव टू बी, ऑब्वियसली दे हैव टू बी. एंड रॉन्ग ऑप्शंस का ये रिजिड माइंडसेट, आप कभी कुछ नहीं कर पाओ. फ्लेक्सिबल क्यों नहीं रह पाते हम कि नहीं मेरा आंसर ही सही है, जबकि वो दिखा रहा है ओजी में कि गलत है. आप फिर भी नहीं, मुझे मेरा आंसर ही गलत है, ये तो नहीं चलेगा. तो दिस इज वेयर, टेक केयर ऑफ दिस. Again, not mastering assumption. We have said ACT, assumption centrality technique, even at the basics video number 3. It has been explained 100%. If you can master assumption, you can master all of CR. This is something that I've been saying. Teaching level depth, every single assumption question, please ये चीज सुना करो और implement करो. ये बोलने से कुछ, मेरे बोलने से कुछ नहीं होगा. अगर आप करोगे नहीं कुछ भी तो कुछ नहीं होगा. It is a lot of hard work. There are no, and the best way to measure somebody's MBA aptitude, best measure is CR. RC भी नहीं है, Quant भी नहीं है, DS में भी, but DI now. The best measure to check whether you are going to be a successful entrepreneur, manager, leader, CR is the single best measure. If you are very good at CR, trust me, your life success is proportionate. Obviously, it's like that. And patterns, no CR question is an isolation. There is always a pattern, always a pattern. And once again, inference in boldface, you will solve by elimination. Rest others, you will solve by selection and elimination. I'll also give a plan. किसी को ये है कि मुझे exact plan नहीं मिला इसका, मैं फिर से दे देता हूँ कि आरसी में क्या करना क्या है आपने. Justice. What is the exact plan of action for RC? Anything you cut corners at, you will not get anywhere. RC, first of all, video number 1 to 4 from the app. There's no question, you can't skip anything, you must. Live class में जो करा है, अगर आप live class में है तो live content also, which is not different, but just make sure you do. Live content is not different. 700 to 800 इसी order के अंदर उसके first. Then primary purpose marathon. Inference marathon. You don't want to watch the video, solve the questions, and that's it. It's good enough. You don't have to solve everything using the videos. This is important. Then the next thing is OG, verbal review, and advanced. LSAT and portal. LSAT for long sitting. This is the overall thing. RC 1 to 4 videos from the app, 700 to 800 content fully. Primary purpose marathon, inference marathon, OG, verbal review, advanced, and LSAT and portal. This is your RC entire work. CR also I'll write down if you feel कि मुझे तो plan ही नहीं समझ में आता. I'm just writing everything. Basics 1, 2, 3. Conditional reasoning basics. Main session 1, 2, 3. Conditional sectional test 1 to 4. If you're part of the live sessions, live also. Live sessions, again, I'm saying are not different. They're covered differently. And this CR topic wise, CR 700 to 800. OG, verbal review, and advanced. It's all given to you. LSAT for long sittings and portal. कुछ भी clear नहीं हो तो I'll write again. Basics 1, 2, 3, conditional reasoning basics, main session 1, 2, 3 from the app. Conditional sectional test 1 to 4. CR topic wise, CR 700 to 800, OG, verbal review, advanced, LSAT and portal. This is your CR work. And if you say नहीं इतना तो मुझसे नहीं होगा, फिर आप सोच लो कितना होगा, उस हिसाब से सोचो. Don't cut corners and say that नहीं मेरे पास तो 10 ही दिन है. 10 दिन में तो होता तो मैं 10 ही दिन पढ़ाता ना. मुझे क्या मजा आ रहा है आपको इतना फोर्स करने का पढ़ने का. I mean, if there is a shortcut, I would ask, and this can be done in the time that we've asked you to. CR accuracy 100% आती है ना एग्जाम में लोगों की. हाँ, आपकी भी आ सकती है. So many people get it, not just one. 2 days back, somebody else shared a CR 100% accuracy. Now I don't remember किसका था, but किसी ने अभी ये सर शेयर किया CR 100%. Wrong approach to Quant also. Please let's see, because Quant many people struggle. First thing, lots of easy questions. It is not going to help no matter what. Some people ask me this geometry or probability itna tough क्यों है? Because if you're solving easy questions, you're not reaching anywhere. Maybe you'll get 2 questions, maybe you get 10 questions. I don't have an answer to how many questions. She got only 1 question of PNC. Please don't mind, have a pattern in your head. There are people who said they've got 6 questions of conditional reasoning. People have got 6 questions of probability also, 8 questions of geometry also. Okay, geometry will be removed from the focus edition, but the logic applies in the same fashion. Too many random sources. Random sources are of no use. GMAT is a very peculiar exam in this regard, trap-based totally. Again, no way you can check this. Appreciating the solution and believing I can do it, this is clapper. Think hard on a problem. ये से मेरे को familiar question नहीं आया तो मैं कैसे करूं? मुझे process बताओ, मेरे को method बताओ, मुझे formula बताओ. People who believe in these 3 things in math, they will not score. The only thing that will stay with you is your logic. Quant class sessions guide first to 17 pages I have written for some reason. इतना effort लगा के वो document लिखा है, कोई reason होगा. एक गलती जो लोग करते हैं मैथ में, सब की सब लिखी हुई. Only thing that will stay with you is logic. Some people tell work and time, वो अमन ने table से बताया था, आप भी table से ही करके बताओ. बात वो है ही नहीं. 9 out of 10 questions, there is no particular method or process. See the logic in whatever he taught. It's just that, nothing else. So if you have this, that no, I want a process, I want a method, I want a formula, no, not happening, whatever you. And it can be learned if your logic building is right from the very beginning, right and strong. Okay, another thing, we don't control silly mistakes, and we have this very simple, simplistic notion that आज गलती हो गया, अरे क्या है, मैंने x equal to 1 को 2 पढ़ लिया. अरे ये आपका एटीट्यूड नहीं है जो फिक्स हो. This is your brain doing something on autopilot, which is very hard to change until you are conscious about. Treat silly mistakes even more harshly than real mistakes. Real mistake में तो कम से कम नहीं आता तो कर दिया. Be very harsh on yourself when you make it. People have this very casual attitude. हाँ मैंने एक लाइन नहीं पढ़ा, हाँ मैंने नहीं देखा x is an integer, हाँ मैं. This is not going to fix on its own until you are extremely conscious. That's why error logs. That's why error logs. Extremely conscious. And another thing, most efficient method, she said that she got 49 in Quant, which is a pretty disastrous score. According to her, she would have got 51. But she did not rely on the most efficient methods. That's why the time consumption was pretty off. Okay, minimum calculations, I've been saying, don't write, don't calculate. You don't agree, you don't want to agree also. Okay, we said don't use algebra. No, people are obsessed about algebra. If you don't listen, then how do I fix anything? You got to listen. Can I teach? That's another thing. Again, in each area. Also, shortcuts will always take the longest to master. Always, because shortcut तब आता है आपको जब आपको पूरी process आती है, then you can. So no shortcut can be learned like this. Step-by-step process or method, absolutely suicidal. There is not a single question on this exam that fits into process. Data sufficiency, so bhul hi jao, there is nothing that fits into process. Nothing. Pure logic. Pure logic only. And I know it, but Quant में 51 score आता है ना एक ही person का. There is a possibility. Everything can be 51 is 100%. So everything can be 100% if you want. It's a possibility. जब डॉक्टर एक स्कोर ला सकता है तो आप भी ला सकते हैं. Data insights, the new section. Now some of you might be thinking कि मेरे लिए नहीं है, but I am anyway coming to focus edition versus current. So please listen to this also. For those people who are not familiar, because this has been taught in the new batch only for the focus edition, DI is essentially RC, CR, and Quant. All about reading. It is not about DI at all. Those of you who have attended would agree there was nothing called data interpretation or insights. It's about reading 90%. Quant and CR probably 5%. This is it. This is purely it. I mean, you can imagine one RC section has been added to the exam. It's very shocking for people to know that data insights is essentially reading comprehension on steroids. It's genuinely that. So if you're ready for that, let's see. Practicing a lot without mastering verbal and quant. As I said, DI is all verbal and quant. It is not at all new. Not something that people are able to really believe until it is taught. Hoping that mistakes will take care of themselves. If you misunderstand something, it is comprehension. Every time I've discussed this in the recent focus edition batches, people, oh, but I read it wrong. I read it. No, what is the meaning of I read it wrong? That's it. Comprehension has, it's all about RC. RC means reading and comprehension. Silly mistakes and not worrying. Again, silly mistakes happen in this section. And now because this is going to be a counted section for your score, trust me, this you have to control. And it's not that you have to, this is the easiest section of all the three. And if you're very slow at reading and comprehension, you're rereading. In this section, I've seen one thing that definitely happens. People reread a lot. And that is why do a lot more RC and CR before getting into this section. This section can be mastered in one day if your RC and CR it is 100%. And Quant, obviously Quant to ho gayi thoda bahut. But RCCR, if they're 100%, one day is what it will take. Genuinely. Okay. Absolute full accuracy is possible because in the IR section, people are getting 8 on 8 regularly, even if when it is not important. But this can be a problem. RC and CR have to really be mastered. Even SC now, it's not going to be part of focus edition, but very quickly, not writing the reasons for all the wrong options. Again, कितना ही बोल लो लेकिन नहीं करते लोग. बात मेरे बोलने से क्या हो जाएगा? आप करोगे ही नहीं तो फिर कैसे हो? People don't do. I don't want to be obsessed. I don't want you to be obsessed topic by topic at all. कि parallelism के मुझे 100 questions दे दो, कंपैरिजन के अलग से 100, ये रोज मेरे पास डिमांड आती है. इट्स अ वेरी बैड अप्रोच टू स्टडिंग. आपको अगर पहले से पता है कि दिस क्वेश्चन इज टेस्टिंग पैरेललिज्म, दैट क्वेश्चन हैज नो मीनिंग. You have to figure it out. So always it should be mixed bag. SC first of all, and later on it should be jumbled with RC and CR. Super hard, and that's why portal resources come into the picture, mocks, etc. And it should be that rules have become intuition. This girl, if you remember, said something, or just we said something which was very, maybe she said it and you probably didn't realize. She said that my style of thinking changed to the new rules only. That means I was not conscious of applying rules, and everything can go into muscle memory. पहली बार आप bicycle चलाते हो तो गिरते हो. आज, even if you're 30 and for the last 20 years you've not really had any opportunity to ride a bicycle, I guarantee you can still ride it. मसल मेमोरी कोई चीज होती है ना, वो वहां तक आपने ले जाए नहीं कोई चीज. दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंड विद माय वोकैबुलरी. इट वेंट इनटू माय मसल मेमोरी. मसल मेमोरी यू डोंट फॉरगेट इवन टिल योर लास्ट ब्रेथ. यू जस्ट डोंट फॉरगेट. Okay, this is a possibility. And when rules become intuition, so this is how we study SC. 15 times may be required. If you feel that no, there was a student Sudarshan, please check uska. One student called Sudarshan, you can check on our channel. He was extremely weak at SC. He said, I must have read the SC concepts document at least 15 times. Again. And if you feel that nahi, mera to improve nahi ho raha, please, let's see. These people, 3 examples I'm giving, all 3 of them were friends. They had done their entire training, and these places are known only for SC. क्योंकि RCCR तो पढ़ाते ही नहीं है, more or less. They're just known for SC. उसके बाद देखिए, this person, 15% accuracy was there, and he went to 1 wrong out of 70. 1 wrong out of 70 in 700, 800. And he said, I am shocked, ये सच में 700 level questions हैं. So 69 on 70 is absolutely almost 98%, 99%. This person. So it can happen. It can happen. SC can be improved. Let's see this person, Jasmine, wherever she's studying right now, Ashoka University. And the first session of SC, which so many people call, oh, it was so long, it was so boring, nothing worked. That session, when it was being done live for the first time, she attended. And look at the comments here. मैं फालतू बात नहीं कर रहा हूं आपसे. आपको एंजॉय नहीं करना आता तो अलग बात है. Everything is done in the only way to describe grammar class. Wow, I've seen so much content and it always gets complicated. Your session just builds logically, flows falls into place, nothing. Remember, just follow the logic. Taking the extra sessions, this was this. This person struggled supremely with SC, went to ISB once again. And this, your SC notes help a lot. In particular, this is what Purusharth had to say. This person, again, ISB, and the class was amazing, enjoyed each second of it. I mean, look at this grammar class के बाद कोई बोले I'm feeling so refreshed. That to 5-hour first session that you study on video now. Pre-work, okay, now let's see. Always used to sleep in my grammar classes, 1 out of the word. But that's the whole point. I'm just saying you can think about it that it is, but you have to get that attitude. पहले ही क्वेश्चन मिला, अरे ये तो बहुत टफ है, अरे मुझे क्यों जानना है नाउन प्रोनाउन वर्ब, अरे नहीं, why should I break down a sentence, why should I cut these parts, what this, then you will not improve. Learn because you want to master, not because the GMAT is asking something. So, and some people decide कि basics video का तो कोई काम ही नहीं है, बहुत ही ज्यादा basic, वही लोगों का improve नहीं होता. You have to watch this. Okay, another, the same person says, Richa here, same person. Okay. This is about know the world or something. And then I really pushed her as well. This. RC was such a disaster for her, such a disaster, But this, if I have to name one topic which is the most uncomfortable, it is now I could finally ace it 100% accuracy. So when people are doing, I mean, we can also do. These people are not some outstanding people. Akshita, SC accuracy can be 100%. Many people have proved time and again, SC can be 100%. SC can be 100%. Definitely can be. No question about it. I am very sure it can be. और जब स्कोर लोगों का आ ही रहा है तो आपका भी आ सकता है. You which side you want to belong to, it's up to you. Why am I sharing this story? This has been shared with you over email also twice, but I'm sharing. This guy had done 6 classes. 2 classes are not written here, target, test prep, and Jamboree, because I asked him. 6 classes, question exhausted from everywhere. We give totally different material, totally different. आपको CR जो भी content है, जो भी. And I asked him later on, I was pretty shocked by this. Heard that you had been to 5 places prior and spent 4 lakh rupees. And this says, yes, this was my 5th attempt. And some people are doing it in 28 days also. So this is where I'm saying that one has to really, and what is the difference? The difference is I teach a trap-based tough questions approach. वहां पे नहीं पढ़ाया जाता tough कुछ भी. Learning time, you'll feel everything is perfect. So almost 10 times the money that because he was part of the self-paced course also, probably almost 15 times the money, 13 times the money he'd spent. But he scored, and it's a recent story, so don't discount this story. It is a possibility. This is just crazy. This is the DNA of a champion, definitely. And you got to have it. So my definition of who is a champion, understand who is a champion first. The person may be belittled, insulted, bruised, completely blooded, battered, beaten, or even broken. But the champion gets back in the game. What is the frustration this person would have carried for 3 years? Yes, Uchi. Bruised, broken, beaten or not? Yes, absolutely. I mean, first the money, but more than that, time. More than that, the time. And this guy says your face was in front of me. In my mind, I teach question. That's not really what I want to hear. That doesn't matter. What is not, that's not the point. But this guy got back in the game with some kind of faith. And this, yes, he did not find the right tools to prepare. He is not a dumb person. He did not find the right place, the right tools, but still, did he leave the preparation? So that's what happens clearly. ये होता है attitude of the DA. This person says 760 आया but 780 चाहिए. Can you help me? This was shared with my colleague Keshu. 760 के बाद, Quant 51 के बाद, that person wants to improve the score. I am not saying whether it is the right thing or not, but this is the attitude with which somebody succeeds. Why would this person be like this? You can ask yourself. This person, 56 days, Sriram, exactly 56 days for his 760. Look at what happened here. We really said, yeah, congratulations for your 7. To be honest, I'm considering writing the exam again. What was his Quant score also? You can say room for improvement. Okay, his Quant is 50, and despite that, he wants to rewrite. Same person. Look at this. He wrote this mail to us. Congratulations on getting a 760. Yes, I'm looking for guidance to improve my score. Attitude की बात कर रहा हूं. Attitude. This person actually did it, and not one person. He got 760 with us only first. उसको मजा ही नहीं आया. उसने बोला, Sandeep, I've cheated you because your mission is mission 770. I've cheated you. I have not lived up to the 770 expectation. I'm rewriting, then only I'll talk. I texted, he's like, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk right now. I'll talk when I get 770 at least. I am not saying you have to do this. Please, I'm not saying. My point is, this is the DNA with which you have to work. An attitude of a champion is like this. This person, what was his score first? 51, 41, 760. Please see. But he says, your logo says mission 770. I'm so sorry. I will rewrite it. Not required. Every single school will be able to take this person with scholarship if they have to take. What did he do next? Same person. He improved his score to 770. He improved his score. I'm not saying this is the right. It's not a wise thing. But look at the attitude. Actually, उसने बोला कि I cheated your mission itself. Is this some DNA different or not? I mean, you might say, oh, this is silly. 10 points improve करके क्या हो? That's what, you don't have to do this, but is this your DNA in the first place? You don't have to be unwise. Some people are because they are emotional also. It's great to be this emotional about the right things. Results are not stopping, right? I mean, if you say 8 September को क्या हुआ तो 8 October को क्या, ये 8 August है तो क्या 8 September को रिजल्ट नहीं आया है ना 760 this person Rahul. क्या 9 September 11 September this girl has anyway got this. I mean, this is daily, by the way, it's not one day. Same thing, 11 September we had someone else opine in the US time zone. I'm not able to sync up, probably we'll see when we can. This again 13 September somebody does get a 750. तो ये तो रोज आता रहता है. What is it that you want? It is the same thing. Now I'm discussing two guys, they were so good, not because they got a 770 score or something. I immediately said that these would be the best addition to our faculty team. The moment they got the score, I reached out. This one person in Moria, he took 40 days to prepare only, and he got a 770 score. Couldn't believe he was guided by Jignesh personally. And this, you can see. I mean, read this later on. Read this later on. We'll share the deck with you. Just read this later. And they really attribute the success to Know the World videos, 90% of it. They'll say, Know the World videos se kya? Know the World videos will give you the attitude that there is nothing less than 760 acceptable. They will give you the attitude. Again, this person I've talked about so many times. And look at this Hindi medium background. Uska address dekhiye zara. विलेज सेमरी ताला तहसील पिपरिया होशंगाबाद एमपी. ऐसे गांव से होने के बावजूद if someone can score 45 in verbal, we have our own story in our head. मुझसे नहीं होगा, मैं तो नहीं. This guy says on my stage when I was doing the Know the World program in Delhi, he says अगर aptitude या skill से score आता तो मेरा तो 770 कभी नहीं आता. Maybe you heard this, just hear this again.
If GMAT was a test of intelligence, मेरा score तो नहीं आता.
What did he say? I had solved all the questions in top content. And that's what I'm saying. 8 minutes he wasted in the first one question because he had anxiety. So we are real people we'll have all the real problems. Okay. It's only 10% aptitude, 10% skill. ये चीज में आप पीछे रह जाते हो तो नहीं आता फिर कुछ. And you might find all this too repetitive, too boring, but are you implementing? Things are very, someone says जिसको मैं मानना है चीज के wake up at 5 a.m. you might अरे मैंने रोज सुना है. Have you actually woken up at 5 a.m. until you had to catch a flight or something? Probably. So this, after getting rejected from every single college because I had a low score, every single college, and Know the World he's been praising again. So this, I'm just giving you how effective this is. If you don't want to believe, look at the numbers we get. All this is given just so that you are in the right frame of mind. You have all the attitude. I've given you a plan to study. आपको Quant ऐसी सबका plan दे सकता हूँ मैं थोड़ी देर में. I'll give you. If you want, let's discuss that also. Quant, how you should prepare the plan only. Please take care of everything. Basics videos, main videos, app videos. You go through this. If you really feel that some topics are weak, then there's a 390 MB file, which all of you have now, by the way. Quant concepts plus practice. If you don't have, in the next email follow-up, I'll share this with you. Don't ask for it again and again. 390 MB file, Quant concepts for practice if you're weak. Don't do the PDF called Quant Extreme Basics. That's useless. That is for 300 level. Genuinely, that's a totally useless thing. We've written also. Then you do Quant 700 to 800 for sure. Data sufficiency you do DS 436 for both Focus and Focus edition and this. You can just skip geometry if there is anywhere. Anyway, geometry chapter will be skipped there. 1 or 2 geometry questions will be there in every 100 questions. You can skip that before the focus thing. The seventh thing is the portal. I'll also advise in this case the OG advanced. It's a very good resource, OG Advanced only. And if you want OG and Quant review, the hardest questions, not the easy and medium one, but the hardest you can do. Portal resources use extensively. So I'm repeating, basics videos, Aman's videos are there. Then app videos are there. If you're weak, 390 MB file, only if you're weak at some topic, not otherwise. PDF, this PDF just randomly don't study at all. This is useless, frankly. 700 to 800 fully, DS 436, advanced OG, everything. OG and Quant review, only the hardest questions, and use the portal very extensively, sectional tests, mock tests, etc. You want data insights, the 4 classes that we give, one in tables, one in graphs, one in multi-source reasoning. 4 classes means 4 topics. Sometimes it's 4 classes. Sometimes it will be less than 4 classes. Tables, graph, multi-source reasoning, 2-part. Do this very extensively, and the portal will have an equivalent of 25 mocks. So you get 25 sectional tests equivalent practice. But please don't do this before doing all of RC and CR very thoroughly. The first batch that I taught, the June batch in this, I asked very clearly, do your RC and CR better. Then only you attempt, and Quant also, no doubt about it. So this is your plan for the data insights section. All these, just to give you some statistics, we are working very closely with GMAT right now. I'm one of the insiders, as you probably know. GMAT ke saath mein, we are working as advisors now. In the next official guide, OG24, a lot of my study tips and quotations will come, actually with my name. So just saying that, not out of any bragging, just saying that they must have recognized something, because we were the ones with the highest score. They couldn't believe कि 5 days के अंदर, 5 days you can get 11 scores of 760, which happened 28th July to 1st of August. 5 days we had. Then we shared this, and this is on LinkedIn, so this is all shared, and they were so shocked कि ये चीज हमने 1 साल में भी नहीं देखी है बाकी जगहों पर. 1 year also this doesn't happen. This can happen in 5 days here. This is the point. So then they really got intrigued. They associated. Why am I saying the data that are there will be totally genuine? 174 students out of 2 lakh last year got a score of 770. 200 by 2 lakh is 0.1%. That means this score is less than 0.1%. I counted the number of 770s we got last year. We had 94 scores of 770. 94 scores of 770 last year. If I look at 760, that was way, way, way higher. But this 54% of all global 770 scores are my scores. Then I can claim mission 77. Not like that. Then only. So this. Now, this, at least 50 companies are there that are renowned globally. I'm not talking only about India. You may not. 50 companies locally and globally are announced. Together, they have less number of 770 scores. So you are being coached at the highest level, but please stick to something. I really beg you guys. I really want you to shine through. I'm so happy when you score, when you succeed. And we are here to help you when you are not able to, but please stick to whatever is being asked. आप लास्ट में मुझे बताना कि इसमें से कितनी चीज आप सच में कर रहे थे और कितना रियलाइजेशन हुआ है आज की मैं तो कर ही नहीं रहा था कुछ भी. Cutting corners is not an answer. This is my LinkedIn picture right now. I have the courage to share this because this is the number nobody else has on the planet. Nobody. We will also see, because this you may have seen from me. Implementation नहीं करोगे तो क्या होगा, लेकिन implement भी करना पड़ता है. So let's see something really to learn. We start with something easy and we go to perfection. Okay, very easy. थोड़ा सा भी उसका लेवल बढ़ता है तो यहीं पे पहले लेवल पे we start disappointed. Disappointment होगा तो resignation means quitting. It's like हाँ छोड़ो यार के. इसके बाद we'll go to something else, greener pastures. वहां पे भी फिर आएगा, फिर थोड़ा सा टफ होगा, फिर क्विटिंग. ये आपकी लाइफ की रियलिटी 10 चीजों में हो सकती है. Whether you learn to play the guitar or learn to play the tennis or learn to study mathematics, it doesn't matter. Or you learned coding, whatever, it is the same reality. थोड़ा सा भी टफ हुआ, छोड़ दिया. थोड़ा सा. How will this? This is called natural ceiling of achievement. Natural always prepares you to be below average. नेचर में एवरेज ही पैदा होता है. नेचर में कोई ट्री की हाइट 1 मिलियन फुट नहीं होती. किसी नेचर में कोई भी पर्सन 100 फीट टॉल नहीं होता. किसी का वेट 10,000 kg नहीं होता. नेचर एनिमल्स, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट द लार्जेस्ट, बट दिस what happens, nature is always about average. Now if you go through focused approach, focus means genuine focus, nothing else. एक चीज मतलब एक चीज. रोल मॉडल्स आर रोल मॉडल्स. इतनी सक्सेस स्टोरीज से भी लोग फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाते. मेरा तो स्कोर आ नहीं रहा, मेरे को क्या करना है इनका. लर्न फ्रॉम देम व्हाट दे आर डूइंग राइट. टिल डेट, बाय द वे, आई हैव नेवर फेल्ट जेलस ऑफ इवन वन सक्सेस स्टोरी कि अरे बिल गेट्स को देखो इतना. नहीं, मुझे नहीं बुरा लगता उनको देख के. मुझे बहुत इंस्पायर, ऑलवेज बी इंस्पायर्ड बाय पीपल दैट यू वांट टू बिकम. ऑलवेज बी इंस्पायर्ड. Every single topper has something or the other to share, but no, we don't want to follow them as role models because we are too disappointed कि मेरा तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा, इनका कैसे 30 दिन में स्कोर आ गया, मैं तो 30 दिन से पढ़ रहा हूँ, मेरा तो एक टॉपिक भी खत्म नहीं हुआ, ऐसे कैसे. ये फ्रस्ट्रेटेड अप्रोच तो वहीं रहेगी तुम्हारी. Then systems that follow octave or mock tests or whatever, plan, technique, strategy, systems. And then what happens is when you keep at it, suddenly you have a breakthrough. You leave almost perfection level. Okay, this is the purposeful approach. What comes unnaturally? What comes naturally will always, all nature ने तो नहीं सिखाया ना आपको कि केस स्टडी सॉल्व करो हार्वर्ड का. पैदा तो नहीं होता कोई ये सोच के. That means it comes unnaturally. It is not something that you can learn in nature. That doesn't work. Again, this is our attitude of a dabbler. थोड़ा सा कुछ टफ हुआ, छोड़ दिया, फिर थोड़ा कुछ और किया, फिर टफ हुआ, फिर छोड़. This is the most frustrated type of life. Now, this is the approach of the master. There is a guarantee you will always dip. There is nobody who doesn't dip. आपने अभी देखा होगा ना, कोहली ने सेंचुरी लगाई, उसके बाद फिर वो 10 पे आउट हो गया उसके बाद. तो ये तो नहीं है ना, होगा ही होगा. मास्टर का अप्रोच है कि हाँ ठीक है, फिर भी I'll train, I'll get better, फिर I'll dip, I'll get better. All. Now this guy's best performance was this because he quit here. My worst performance is here. Because इसके बाद तो वो ऊपर जाके फिर नीचे आएगा, लेकिन ये मेरा worst performance. So my worst is better than this person's best. That is what you always get worse before you get better. No matter what. And if you quit, then quitting is the easiest thing to do. सबसे आसान है लाइफ में quitting. So this is the approach, and please see, you will be realizing some things you're not doing right. What all is there? There is a drive, enthusiasm, some sort of intuition, natural behavior. This is natural. कि हाँ जितने दिन मन लगा किया, कुछ दिनों के लिए जोश चढ़ गया, फिर अपने हिसाब से. Then this. What comes unnaturally? You need role models, you need systems, you need a sense of accountability, you need strategy, and you need focus. Genuinely this. And I always say my worst performance should be better than everybody else's best performance. Now I'll give you an example, and I'll give you the date, everything. I have this with me. My score once expired. So Bangalore, there's a center called Nettour. It used to be there. Abhi to nahi hai. At that time, I was living in Bangalore, so Nettour center tha wahan par. And I booked the exam on 5th of December, 2030. This was my exact date. That day, I had an anxiety and blankness attack. I don't know how, मेरे को कभी नहीं होता, but I had massive anxiety. Massive anxiety. I did not remember a single thing, what question came, what happened, not a thing. I went with the exam and I scored a 770, 50, 44 that day. My autopilot mode took over. I can't recall even one question, and I've been teaching the GMAT even before that. I'm telling you, it's a very honest confession I'm making. Whatever you feel about it, it's okay. Very honest. What does it mean? This was my worst day ever in life in terms of professional existence. I could drown somewhere. I could kill myself. I could commit suicide. ऐसा लग रहा था while this was going on. This was the worst day of me. But because my worst performance was still better than almost everybody else's, 0.1% लोगों का भी नहीं आता है 7.7. So I was still at 99.99 or 9+ percentile, even on my worst day when everything went to autopilot. Imagine me not recollecting a single thing. You will not believe, because initially मैंने सोचा चलो AW से शुरू करते हैं, इसमें तो कुछ भी नहीं लिखेंगे, 30 minutes, I'll just close my eyes. I didn't write anything. My AW grade that day was 1, because if you don't write anything, just एक word लिखना जरूरी होता है, एक word लिखना पड़ता है. I wrote 1 word and I sat for 30 minutes. I said IR आएगा, चलो default में कुछ भी मार्क कर दो, ये तो काउंट होता नहीं है. 30 minutes I again rested for IR. I marked 8 answers. I luckily got 4 out of 8 grade that day. And I have no recollection of what 1 hour I was just closing my eyes more or less. And despite that, I took Quant because that's my natural strength. And then I took verbal. I kid you not, I don't remember a single question. Complete blank autopilot mode. And still 770. तो ये आ जाता है आपके DNA में. आप करोगे तो बिल्कुल आ जाए. This is what I'm trying to say. If you don't believe, then it's okay. And you need to have that focus, guys. I mean, you are hitting these, then you don't hit anything. There is some merit in saying that you have to target only one thing. There is always. Ask yourself, आप तो 3 घंटे की क्लास में फोकस नहीं रख पाते हो. यहाँ 3 महीने की फोकस की बात कर रहा हूँ. फोन भी बज रहा है, बैकग्राउंड में बातें भी चल रही हैं, सब कुछ हो रहा है. अभी तो मैंने साउंड नहीं दिया हुआ, नहीं तो इस बार मुझे 20 बार बोलना पड़ता है कि प्लीज म्यूट योरसेल्फ. I mean, what? Ask yourself, is this the DNA of a Harvard person? Why should a Harvard Business School take you if this is your DNA कि हाँ कुछ भी चल रहा है, फोन भी आ रहा है, 2 मिनट में इंस्टा भी देखना है, क्या फायदा? Can you not close your eyes in that sense and just look at what is important for 3 months? 3 months, this is the solution. Solution छोड़ देते हैं. 3 months, 3 hours on test day, and 30 years your life will take off. But 3 महीने का best effort नहीं दोगे आप, flow state effort. So how do you expect to give? The world is not your oyster already that आप कुछ करो या नहीं करो, it will always keep rewarding you. That doesn't work, right? That just doesn't work. So this is important. All right, let's see. What is the solution? 100% of your mindset with one goal only, just one goal and nothing else. It has to be a singular mission. 3 महीने तो एक चीज पे फोकस कर ही सकते हो. And I don't believe in anything religious or spiritual, but look at this. अगर ये कहानी भी है तो इसमें पावर है कि अर्जुना को तो इसकी आंख ही दिख रही थी और कुछ नहीं दिख रहा था. उसको चिड़िया की आंख ही दिख रही थी. ये सिंगुलर मिशन नहीं है तो आप भूल जाओ, आपसे कुछ नहीं होगा. फिर तो फाइन ना यार, सब चलता रहता है. I always say this, and 2 of the quotes that I love from Vivekananda, once again, nothing religious or philosophical here, nothing. Take up one idea, make that idea your life. At least for 3 months, make that idea your life. Today, we are not living in that sort of an era that one idea can be your life, but 3 months at least. And beautifully written, whenever we attain a higher vision, if I can only visualize myself sitting in that classroom of Harvard next year, wearing that crimson red t-shirt, sitting in that hall, sitting with this finance professor teaching me this topic, I can be that visual. Everything else will go away. Every single thing. I have always said this, always believed in it. Everybody has problems. आपको अंदाजा नहीं होगा कि मैंने किस तरीके से इस क्लास के लिए अपने आप को मेंटली और फिजिकली रेडी किया है आज के लिए. बट मेरा काम है, मेरे को कोई नहीं दिखता प्रॉब्लम. I'm sick also right now. I am under heavy medication. I have traveled and I'm on a new campus. And I am still determined to give you the best experience of your life if you want to listen to me. And trust me, it is not only about a GMAT, it is about life. Why? Because I'm driven. क्या मुझे problem? I am right now having 20 problems with my body and mind right now because I'm under heavy medication. I have run just to be here. 2 minutes before 9:45 I was not in my room and 9:50 the webinar was on. This is the point. आपको सब तरह की problem है, but no, you got to really make sure that things are not compromised. Not one class that was scheduled at the last moment I had cancelled. एक भी class नहीं हुई आज तक 27 years. एक भी क्लास. आप खुद रिकॉल कर दो कि नहीं लास्ट मोमेंट ही इज नॉट वेल, ही इज बिजी, ही इज डूइंग दिस. आई कैन अफोर्ड टू डू दैट. इंडिया में तो कोई माइंड भी नहीं करता है. 2-4 क्लास है आगे पीछे होना तो कोई माइंड ही नहीं करता. Not once. Focus edition 1 batch we have done because that was from the student side. that we are not prepared right now. And this can genuinely happen. Obsession is the only thing. This guy was at 0% in quant, 9 score in verbal, and he has gone to a 770. His name is Vinod. NYU Stern, one of the top schools, with scholarship he has gone. 770 is what he got eventually. I've already told you all these stories there, but still. Obsession. अगर आपका quant का score 0 है, verbal is 9, from that you can go to 42 in verbal and quant 51, as you can see in the score report. This can happen to absolutely anyone. Let me just share a 30-second clip here just for that authentication that yes, it's there.
So let me just introduce you to Vinod. Let me confess to all the students here and to you, I have not found even one story more inspirational than yours in my entire 25 years of teaching career. I've been teaching since 1996 consistently. Many people score 770. It's a norm here. I mean, it's not 770 is not the big deal.
If I can score that score of, if I can score a score of 770 with the start of my journey with 400, then I think anybody can achieve that score. So in the mock when I started, I think I scored around 9, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. 9.
Yes.
Oh. So please listen to this, people. He had a 9 score in verbal and 400 and zeros. You had 0 accuracy in your data sufficiency as well.
This goes on. It's okay. And full scholarship. So this is a possibility. So what does it take? Now let's see the final few steps. One is, I have always said 30 on 30 is consistency. 29 days on 30 is not consistency. Don't fool yourself, guys. If you're not consistent, at least have the heart to say you're not consistent. 30 on 30 is consistency, not 29 on 30. Bouts, 4 दिन जोश आया. एक आपको भरोसा नहीं होगा, कभी कभी ऐसा होता है. 4 days, I received 100 emails from one person because पहले क्वेश्चन में डाउट, फिर दूसरे में पढ़ा ही नहीं, उसके बाद 3 महीने कोई मेल नहीं, फिर 4 दिन we'll receive 100 mails from the same person. Where will this person reach? Ask. And whosoever is listening, and if that person is around, please see. Single biggest differentiator: do the work, discipline, consistency. Irrespective of the quality of the input, do the work. You got to spend this much. Upper limit nahi hai. Okay, if you're studying less than 3 hours a day, don't expect any magical result. You might end up at 660, but definitely not a 760. 2 hours a day will not give you this kind of score. I have always believed 99% is an absolute bitch. 100% is a breeze. 1 day skipped is never 1 day skipped. It is always 1 month, 2 months, 5 months, 10 months after that. It's just not 1 day. इतना अगर हो अपना mind का control, तो जरूरत ही नहीं इस session की फिर. Everything has been told. Okay, another absolute best concentration and focus of your life. You want 30 years sorted, you can't give 3 months of absolute best concentration. Absolute best concentration. Again, I can't sit for 3 hours straight. I need a break. Why are you writing an exam that is 3 hours long or 2 hours long now, whatever? Why are you writing an exam if you can't concentrate? 1,000 distractions going on. Please. ये सब आपके लिए नहीं है. GMAT prep is a solo journey. I've been saying. And analytics. Absolutely no analytics. Analytics तो मैं भी बनवा के दे सकता हूँ ना, अगर सब कुछ है हमारे पास, क्या है? This is not going to help. No algorithm is going to help. It will slap you with the same message. But I have a LinkedIn post around it. Please जरूर पढ़िए इसको. It's called GMAT scam or whatever. Whenever it was, do read this and connect with me on LinkedIn. Very important. Please do not just follow me. Connect. If you're a connection, you will receive all the updates, because lots and lots of good things and updates I'm writing. Some extra classes also will be updated here. So please just read about this, analytics and AI as a savior. Read this and connect with me. It's only about depth. Another miscellaneous points, because they did not fall under any category. I solved 1,000 questions. I'm still at 55. The reason is not you didn't do the 250 questions that Ojasvi, the girl that we spoke to today, could have done. I'm still stuck in the 620s. Reason ही आपकी foundation आपने बनाई नहीं और उसके ऊपर. I mean, imagine I'm preparing a 100-story building. क्या ये बन जाता है पहले, या पहले सालों साल फाउंडेशन पे काम होता है? If the foundation is weak, how will this 110 5-story building will also not last? You really have to build that depth genuinely, and those people who don't build the depth, that is where the problem is. Even months later they use intuition because they just didn't build the depth at all. It all boils down to same thing. What is intuition in quant? Silly mistake. This is intuition in quant. Intuition in DI, not mastering verbal and quant first. Really understand this. Verbal and quant is your savior. DI तो automatic autopilot पे भी हो जाएगा उसके बाद. Making your own assumptions. Simple. When we explain the same answer, and there are people जिन्होंने बोला कि नहीं मेरे हिसाब से D है आंसर, E कैसे हो सकता है, E is given as the solution. If you reproduce without writing a single word, they'll say I get it. Same solutions if I copy paste, they just want to ask, which means what? Thinking नहीं करना है. बाद में तो solution आया तो let me read it, but नहीं मुझे thinking नहीं करना. इतना लेजीनेस से नहीं होगा ना. आपको ही सॉल्व करना है एग्जाम में, ये नहीं समझते हो. We can help, but who is going to be helping you on the test day? Please remember, think hard, not verifying particularly, and that is intuition in us. SC, not using prime. Thinking about the adaptive nature is also a big mistake. I can't help it, right? I just can't help it, and we are not the best judge that oh level change हो रहा है मैं क्या करूं, इतना tough हो गया question, I must be doing well, इतना easy हो गया question. We are hopeless judges of question level. You should never do this. You have to get rid of this habit altogether. Doubting an official answer. That's, I mean, how many times do I have to say? One thing here, concept subsets. Subsets का meaning है, suppose there are 400 slides in SC2 PPT. If you read it, delete the first 300, save a copy, but 300 that, yeah, this is done. So next time I have 100 only to do. Next time when you revise 100, delete 50 that you are totally comfortable with now, 50 only to do. Next time delete 30, 20 only to do. These 20 keep revising till your exam. This is the meaning of concept search. Probability if you're solving, let's say numbers. You are 550 questions. Next first time you solved, 30 you can delete that, ये कभी मुझे solve नहीं करना पड़ेगा, ये तो delete हो गया पूरा. Next time 20, oh I have to revise 20. Next time delete all this also and say okay 5 questions till my exam I want to come back as error analysis. This is concept subset, otherwise you'll never close anything. And one more big problem, people take printout and study. If you are comfortable with the printout but the exam is not on a paper, seriously, I mean, never print. Agar aisa hota to I could have charged you 1,000 rupees extra. I could have given you photocopy sets. I would have sent. Do not read on paper at all, irrespective of how much you work on a screen. आप ऑफिस में भी तो नहीं बोल सकते ना कि मुझे पेपर पे दो काम, अगर लैपटॉप पे है तो करना ही पड़ेगा लैपटॉप. So please never study on paper. Don't print out even one word. And waiver, इससे ज़्यादा बकवास कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Don't even think about waiver. Another thing. Solutions too soon. I've been saying this. Why? Let's elaborate. If you don't give enough thought and deliberation on each question, you don't reach anywhere. Totally convinced why the 4 answers are wrong. Totally convinced. Okay, slightest doubt, you won't get there because you have to be convinced. Inference and boldface, you solve by elimination, and other questions, you solve by selection. Same with SC, same best of the 5 answers. We are not here to select the best possible as per us, but 4 answers are clearly wrong. Again, this I've been saying this because I really want this to be drilled down. The timed practice you can't start too soon. You just can't start timed practice too soon. Why? The reason for that is until you reach 95% accuracy in untimed, time practice is a disaster. Okay, I've said this many times, untimed should be this. Absolute mastery only, then only this can happen. Then don't hurry through this part, guys, please. Okay, what is the purpose of practice? Let's see this also. Speed, stamina, concentration, not accuracy improvement. आपकी 95% accuracy पहले से है, वो 95 से ऊपर वैसे भी नहीं जाती है किसी. 100% is luck, that's it. 95% you can control, 5% you can't control. Accuracy jump should not happen when you're practicing. Speed, yes. Stamina, yes. Concentration. And final kill. The worst solution is time to practice on accuracy. I've been saying this from the very beginning. Don't do. That's why people ask, should I time myself? I say, जब तक 2 महीने पढ़ाई नहीं करो, timing yourself is a very bad idea. Very. Again and again and again, but with subsets. Okay. You don't have to reinvent anything. अगर रोज लोगों का स्कोर आ रहा है तो start trusting my word as the last word. Not because I'm arrogant, not because you can see the results we produce. और आप लोग ट्रस्ट नहीं कर रहे होते तो सैटरडे मॉर्निंग को 700-800 लोग सुनने भी नहीं आते आज मुझे. बिल्कुल ऐसा होता है. Trust the process. Trust my word, guys. And 27 years and counting, we've been sending people to Harvard. This should tell you that there is something that you can trust. You don't trust, it's okay. I mean, क्या कर सकते हैं? नहीं trust करोगे आप तो कुछ नहीं. Same thing. These picks will tell you. Okay. When I went to IIT Delhi and ये winter के time गया था, मैंने बताया था Jan 22nd. I just spoke for 1 hour and I gave a few questions. Look at their focus. आप जूम सेशन में भी इतना फोकस नहीं ला सकते जितना फोकस ये लोग दे रहे थे मुझे. और ये डिफरेंस है. और डिफरेंस यही है सिर्फ. ये से आईआईटी के स्टूडेंट तो ब्राइट होंगे. नो, वो ब्राइट नहीं है. वो ऐसे थे इसलिए ब्राइट है. वो बचपन से ऐसे थे. Why? Go anywhere, people are supremely distracted. Not a single soul is distracted here. Not a single soul. Whatever I was saying, it was as if their life would depend on this 1 hour of lecture. That's how they were listening. This guy is waiting for the pen from the other person to solve because he doesn't have a pen. Look at the focus and the real concentration people could give. आप अपने आप से पूछो ना, ये आपका फोकस हो सकता है 3 महीने तक? 3 महीने चाहिए मुझे इस फोकस का. 1 घंटे से नहीं होगा. ये आईआईटी दिल्ली लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पर. This is I was just speaking. And when I went there, I was so happy. IIT to Harvard was the name of that seminar I did. That, wow, I mean, look at the focus and concentration people can give. And that is what makes an IIT an IIT. Then also, they are not really in the top 100, 150 rank. Everywhere I've gone, but these people were focusing for 1 hour. Can you focus like this for 3 months? Yeah, any success is achievable, any. 1,800 people I was speaking to in an auditorium. Look at the focus that people have. Focus again. Look at the focus of these people. आप ऐसा 3 महीने दे सकते हो तो आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो. 3 महीने चाहिए ऐसे फोकस. नहीं है तो छोड़ दो यार, आज से ही छोड़ दो. कोई फायदा नहीं, कोई फायदा नहीं. लाइफ में बहुत बार पैसा और टाइम वेस्ट किया, एक बार और सही जाओ यहाँ से. कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है सब करने की आपको. This is the level of concentration and focus I want from. This is at IIT BHU. You can imagine मतलब किस हद तक लोग focused and this. And that's what I want. These people were to give it for 1 month, 1 hour. You have to give this for 3 months. You can assume any kind of success can be used. This, why? Because they have just come to attend a 1 hour, 2 hour event and they are giving this level of focus. This is it. Actually, how you attend classes. At some point in time, close to 800 people were attending. 200 लोगों का देखो ना, इसी सेशन में उनको नहीं अटेंड करना. They drop out as if they are doing me a favor. मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. आप पैसा दे चुके हो, आप 2 लोग रहो या 200 लोग रहो, मेरे को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. बट इससे समझ आता है ना, हाउ यू अटेंड क्लासेस. इट्स वेरी एविडेंट, वेरी एविडेंट. ये लोग अगर उनको उम्मीद है कि नहीं आई कैन क्रैक ए हार्वर्ड, आई एम सॉरी, आपको क्राइस्ट यूनिवर्सिटी का एमबीए नहीं लेगा ऐसे एटीट्यूड के साथ. आपको लगेगा अरे मैं सब झूठ है, मैं तो कहीं भी जा सकता हूँ. ट्रस्ट मी, आईएसबी विल बी अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टारगेट फॉर यू. How you finish your pre-work. So many times I've said, solve the pre-work as if your life would depend, as if this were your real exam. Think hard on every question. Give it all. Even if one question takes you 1 hour or 1 day, give that. But नहीं करना, आधा अधूरा करके आ गए. वही प्रॉब्लम है ना. सैटरडे को 2 बजे क्लास है, सुबह सैटरडे को उठाया 11 बजे, अरे क्या है, फटाफट हाँ ठीक है देख. That's how we study. I've said, do it as if your life, this would be your real exam. Solve it like that. Many people don't do this. It's very simple. How you ask questions. क्योंकि basics पढ़ा नहीं और वही के वही चीज बता रहे हो, फिर people. I don't mind answering questions at all. but it should not show that you did not do your job very thoroughly. आप इनकॉम्पिटेंट हो, मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, आप एवरेज हो कोई, आप इनसिंसियर हो, मुझे बहुत प्रॉब्लम है उस पर. You can be at level 0, I don't have a problem with this. You cannot be insincere even if you are at 750. I have a problem with insincerity, not with incompetence. And that's a very negative word, but I'm saying if you feel that's a very negative word. If you think you're average, below average, I don't have a problem with 0 levels. I have a problem with insincerity, definitely. Join in on time. अगर एक क्लास एक 10 को स्टार्ट होता है, इसमें कितने लोग हैं जो बाद में आते हैं? क्यों इतना क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है तुम्हारे को सैटरडे मॉर्निंग? बट है ना प्रॉब्लम. How you stay till the end? We've seen it today itself. People will keep dropping off. कहने के बाद भी अभी भी they have to drop. मुझे नहीं फर्क पड़ रहा, ये आपका बैटल है. प्लीज हाउ यू शिफ्ट बैचेस. ओ आई कुडंट स्टडी इन जून, आई विल शिफ्ट टू जुलाई, फिर अगस्त, फिर सितंबर. हाउ यू आस्क फॉर रिन्यूअल. 6 महीने के बाद भी लोगों को कोर्स खत्म नहीं होता, जबकि 3 महीने बोलते हैं लोग हो जाते हैं. I don't have a problem with renewal. I don't have a problem. In fact, you pay me a small amount of fee, which is not earned by us, which goes to a technical thing to give you that renewal, the license key, etc. We have to procure from outside. All that is fine, but it's enough. There is no need for renewal if you really do the hard. Genuinely. If my commitment is at 770 level, your own commitment is at 570 level, we are not meeting anywhere. We are not. Another thing, it's the easiest thing to quit. आपको अंदाजा नहीं होगा, इंडिया में जो लोग रजिस्टर करते हैं जीमैट के लिए, उसमें से 26% people show up on the exam day. 74% people are okay to postpone or quit. ये है रियलिटी इंडिया की. फिर आप बोलोगे इंडियन एटीट्यूड. हाँ, ये एटीट्यूड में प्रॉब्लम है. 26% पीपल फाइनली राइट द एग्जाम. वो जितना भी पैसा है 20K के आसपास आप पैसा देके, और 26% पीपल. दिस इज इंडियन रियलिटी. आई एम ट्राइंग टू चेंज दैट. आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक यू द वेरी बेस्ट वर्जन ऑफ योरसेल्फ दैट यू कैन बी प्राउड ऑफ. आई एम ट्राइंग सो हार्ड दैट यू चेंज. आई एम ट्राइंग सो हार्ड दैट यू रियली एज द वर्ल्ड. इन फैक्ट वही ना, हमको स्टक रहना तो फिर कुछ नहीं. ये कितनी सैड रियलिटी है लाइफ इंडिया की. The person who gets a 610 score and the person who gets a 770 score, if they are both in the self-paced course or the live course, they receive the same training, same material, same support, same doubt clearing, same counseling, same everything. अब आपके ऊपर है ना. मेरा तो काम वही है कि सबको मैं सेम ट्रेनिंग ही दे सकता हूँ. This is up to you how you receive. In fact, it has happened. 2 brothers equally intelligent joining. One person gets a 610, the same brother, same day gets a 770. पता चलता है इससे. इन लोगों को कौन प्लान देता है कि यार मुझे शेड्यूल दे दो, मुझे प्लान दे दो, मुझे मेंटोर दे दो जो रोज मुझे पोक करेगा. व्हाट आर यू? आई मीन, आर यू? आजकल बच्चों को भी नहीं लगता है ये सब, किसी को नहीं लगता है. एंड वेयर आर यू रीचिंग विथ ऑल दिस? दिस इज टेलिंग यू ये 550 ही मेंटालिटी है. ये 770 मेंटालिटी नहीं है कि नहीं मुझे मेंटोर चाहिए रोज के रोज. कोई को जरूरत नहीं पड़ना है. Why should anybody be checking up on you? Be self-responsible. Be self. So many people take the plan and they finally get the score and then they talk. 3 months they disappear after that because they study. Put your head down and study is the approach. And I've been studying for 1 year. I can't finish pre-work. I don't have the time. ये सबसे बड़ा जोक है लाइफ का. ये इसीलिए मैंने बोला सेजल का वीडियो जरूर देखिए. It will blow your mind that 14 hours a day, 6.5 days के बाद 2 महीने में 780 first attempt with self-paced course लाया जा सकता. Means she was maintaining her own discipline. She didn't even have live classes daily. ये दिखता है ना, joining in late, not attending classes, dropping out, shifting batches, losing track. This is it. An important step. I really have been saying this. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. It's very crucial because I keep posting a lot of stuff which is relevant to your prep, not random. आप बाद में हटा देना. You don't have to follow me and connect with me later on. You can get disconnected later on. Once your GMAT is done, MBA journey is done, you can totally not. Okay, please take care. Always stay connected here. Now let's also talk about the focus current and the GRE edition. Please remember, just because the exam has gotten shorter does not imply that it has gotten easier. Those people who have this notion ki short matlab aasan nahi, CR will remain as tough, RC will remain as tough, Quant will remain as tough, DS will remain as tough, integrated will remain as tough. Nothing is becoming easier, it's shorter. Yes, SC going away, geometry is going away, and AW is going away. AW anyway never mattered. Just a couple of schools now are not accepting. Only Harvard and Wharton are not accepting for 2024 intake. You want to write the focus edition, go for, no problem at all, but don't think focus edition is easier only because it is shorter. Same with the new GRE, it is only becoming shorter, not easier. Not easier at all. GRE में जो आता था वही आ रहा है, जो बता देता हूं मैं फिर से. पहला section verbal, 1 blank, 2 blank, 3 blank used to come earlier, CR used to come, RC used to come, sentence equivalence, RC passage. Again, 1 blank, 2 blank, 2 blank, 3 blank, RC, 15 questions, one more section. Quant, exactly the same things will come. Now, earlier 40 questions of quant used to come. Now 27 questions will come. I can check your aptitude in 40 or 27. Same with verbal. Please don't think the GRE is becoming easier at all. Yes, people who thought that 4 hours was too long and that is fine, then it's becoming a 2-hour exam. It is easier in terms of ability to focus, maybe, for some people. But exam content is not becoming easier. So you choose wisely. एक caution जरूर बताना चाहूंगा मैं. GRE, if you're going for, at the time of placement in B school, any program in B school, you might be at a definitive disadvantage. Definitive, not at the time of admission. At the time of placement, you will be at a definitive disadvantage. Most consulting companies, most fintech companies, most companies in extremely high quality banking like JP Morgan Chase, and most technology companies, they don't like to take the GRE score at all. GMAT only. तो ये ध्यान रखिए. That's it. बाकी ये important है कि nothing is becoming easier. It's only becoming shorter. Shorter is not easy. ना? अगर मुझे आपको 20 questions का एक math test देना हो, 40 questions का देना हो, दोनों में I can check your math aptitude. I can check your math aptitude in 10 questions also. Why does it? So understand it's not getting easier. This is important for you to know. Very important, clearly. All right. We have been seeing this. GMAT का पढ़ाई किया इसने, इसका GMAT cancel हो गया. She didn't have the time for 16 days because she wanted to go for round 1. Did not have the time. अभी मैंने post किया था, जरूर देखिए. 7 days she asked me which GRE material to study, etc. for vocabulary, because RC quant everything was covered. 4 days she could study, and with that she could get 333 score. Okay, 333. And that's what I'm saying, that it is definitely doable, even in the longest format. Quant 170, verbal 163. Wharton has the highest score requirement for GRE, that is 162, 162. She has scored higher than 162 in both. This is the highest GRE requirement anyway. So you can very clearly see how much requirement is there and how much is possible. So 160 and 160, 320 and 324. Anything above 324 is a very good score, provided it is balanced. So you should be able to check. ये person अभी 2 दिन पहले या 1 दिन पहले got a 331. Requirement is 162 even at Wharton. Doesn't mean it is easier to score this. Please remember. So obviously we are having equal number of scores. We don't talk to GMAT students about GRE and vice versa, but that's not at all a problem. I have GRE batches also. Everything is there. Humanities background student अगर 51 ला सकते है, this girl 28 days first attempt, and arts background आप भी ला सकते हैं. I'm very clear about this. Sanskriti actually scored in 28 days alone. She's from humanities, arts, economics background. IRB 8 है, सब कुछ है, आप देख सकते हो. 4th of July. This is the person I'm talking about. You can find where, and extremely happy. Her interview is also there. Biology background student has scored 51, which we have been talking about for 1 year now. Look at the date of joining. I just want to tell this. 27 Jan date of joining. 27th Feb date of writing the exam. 770. नहीं करना है वो हमारी मर्जी है कि नहीं करना है. Even 100% scholarship can come with only a 770. So showing you this, Financial Times says Columbia Business School is ranked number 1 right now. US News say Booth is ranked number 1. Okay, at 7:30, even if you're a celebrity with 4 million followers, you're the biggest personal finance influencer in this space. This guy came to us. You all know Sharan. I'm sure he's a very famous guy. When he came to us, he got only a 730 score. My colleague Autry was very helpful. He got him into Columbia, but obviously no scholarship. Scholarship इसको नहीं मिला तो आप तो भूल ही जाओ at 730. अगर ये इसकी प्रोफाइल शायद इंडिया बेस्ट प्रोफाइल होगी अभी तक की, बट 730 पे तो कोई स्कॉलरशिप नहीं देता, कोई भी नहीं. India's best profile, I can say. I mean, he's really achieved something spectacular and massive. On the other hand, somebody who just got the 770, the only difference is 40 marks. And she's right now studying at Columbia, Ivy League University. Booth, scholarship. Columbia, full scholarship. You can see all this is given. Yale, Dean's scholarship. This is not going to happen if you are at 730. Please remember, no matter, आपका तो ऐसा profile भी नहीं होगा किसी का. 4 million followers is not a joke, and he's very highly respected. He has had millions of dollars of revenue by now, and he's an author. He's a pretty celebrated guy globally. Globally, the biggest personal finance influencer, English language in the world. Then also, if somebody doesn't get it, that means he was good enough for them, but not good enough for scholarship. लिया तो फिर भी है ना. Please don't raise hands. I am not answering any question. At 760, this girl got into a full scholarship because she had 760. If you think नहीं ये तो बहुत बढ़िया कुछ प्रोफाइल है, not at all. Jain University Bachelor of Commerce and NYU Stern, full scholarship, full scholarship. Listen to this, please. Half a minute thing.
Just by doing the things that they told me, and I couldn't even put in much time, because when I was working, there was no time to study for the GMAT. So I would just like put in about 2 hours every day for about 2 months, and here I am like with a 760 score. With the breakup would be Quant 50 and Verbal 44. And I also took Autry's help in the admissions, applications, counseling. And it was so helpful because he knew exactly what the universities wanted, and he knew exactly how we can make our best application. And due to tips from him and his guidance, I got an admit from New York University Stern School of Business with 100% scholarship.
This goes on anyway. So I really want to work with this model always with you. I don't want to stop at a score because you paid me for a score. I care, really care that you get a scholarship. MBA is a very costly affair. And if I can get you a scholarship, for that, you have to cooperate with me in getting a high score. High score is possible if you follow everything I say. You follow 99 out of the 100 things I say, I don't guarantee. Please follow everything. That's it. Why will it not be so awesome for you to get a $100,000 scholarship or 200,000 or 300,000? Yahan tak logon ko mila hai. What is the problem? You get that scholarship. Even ISB gives full scholarship. Columbia University we were talking about abhi. It's a true Ivy League University, center of New York. No comparison. And people think ISB में क्या बुरा है, IIM में क्या बुरा. मैं समझाता हूँ आपको क्या बुरा है. ये बात समझना बहुत जरूरी है. It's a true Ivy League center of New York. Let's see. ये IITs की ranks हैं, different हो सकता है, because someone says world rank is 502, but genuinely these are the rank of IIT Bombay, Delhi, everything. And we celebrate them as the best institute. That IIT Delhi तो मतलब सारे startup तो वहीं से आते हैं, सारा ये है, this growth, that growth. And if they are not in top 150, close to that, I really wonder top 5 कितना अच्छा होता होगा. ये तो सोच के देखो, अगर कोई top 500 में भी नहीं आता यहाँ के, what will top 5 be like? What will an MIT be like? What will a Harvard be like? What will a Columbia be like? And then you get all the answers. And this is a comparison. I said 50 most Nobel laureate winning universities. Let's compare 140 crore people, 118 years Nobel Prize मिल रहा है Indians को. 2 Nobel laureates in physics and economics. मैं physics ले रहा हूँ because this is the foundation of all growth, science and economics. There is nothing called business, so we are taking closest to business. 132 countries combined have fewer Nobel Prizes than Harvard University alone. And we are not talking about America, we are talking one university campus and one bottom 132 countries ka combined Nobel laureate itna nahi. One university gets 161. Columbia gets 33 in physics alone. What? Physics department of Columbia, not Columbia, not the entire New York. Chicago has 33 Nobel laureates in economics alone. Now you might disagree, but here reality ka difference. You go to Chicago booth, 26 professors taught one of my previous students economics, 26 Nobel laureates. This is the difference. If you still feel nahi sab theek hai, kahin bhi chale ja average, so you embrace the average then. What's the problem? You take the average. Average is great then. Super. Take the average then. It should tell you that we are living somewhere in a real big bubble. कि अरे मैं Wharton जाऊं तो क्या फायदा? ISB में भी तो same finance पढ़ाते हैं. अगर इसलिए लोग ISB versus Wharton तो फिर तो online course ही पढ़ लो. And I want to enable more and more Indians to experience something as awesome as this. और फर्क नहीं पड़ता आप 21 or 41, it makes no difference, because this girl at the age of 21 studying only 30 days and she got a score of 770 just 30 days. Now if you're wondering 240 को आप 8 से divide कर दो 30 आ जाएगा. She was just studying 8 hours a day. Hours तो change नहीं होते. 240 got this and she has gotten into Harvard Business School's deferred MBA program, age 21. At the same time, this guy you must be familiar with. He got his alum status and he was speaking from Harvard. He still doesn't forget to write to me. Thanks a lot for all the guidance. I would not have happened without your constant motivation and push for excellence. I was brutal with him कि नहीं चलेगा average performance, बिल्कुल नहीं चलेगा. But this, and he got the alum status from a Harvard. 1 साल के बाद मिलता है ये चीज. तो ये 41 years का था जब गया था. ये लड़की 21 की. किसी पे भी आपकी एज से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. This is what is the biggest reason for such excellence is diversity. Let's understand the idea of diversity. Okay, 83 countries represented at Wharton. You go to ISB or IIMs, only one country is represented. It looks like a glorified chartered accountancy or BCom or engineering institute. Highest percentage of women, that was another thing. All this. अगर लोगों को लगता है नहीं, मैं तो आर्ट्स बैकग्राउंड से मेरा नहीं होगा, 39% is humanities. तो मैं तो कॉमर्स से हूँ, मेरा नहीं होगा 27%. मैं तो इंजीनियरिंग से हूँ, मेरा सब कुछ है वहां पर, सब कुछ. All of that. This guy, when he joins Wharton as a deferred MBA candidate 1 year later, ये उसका peer group होगा. हर रोज, how many people they took? They took 897 people. If I decide कि one person से मैं एक दिन one meaningful conversation करता हूँ, 2 साल निकल जाएंगे, मैं सबसे मिल तक नहीं पाऊंगा. I can shake hands, but I can't talk to everyone. This is your network. This is your network for life. If you want to forget all this is up to you. पर जा रहे हैं लोग. जिसको करना है वो सब कर लेता है यार. आपको बहाना देना है, कुछ नहीं होगा उससे. This is crazy. I mean, you look at this, crazy, all kinds of demographics. This is going, he's in 780 Laya and he's genuinely going. He said all this, we have seen. This girl, Sachi, I was talking about, going to Harvard Business School, where 161 Nobel laureates have come from. Nobel laureates ka number 161, that's not Harvard Business School, overall Harvard University. She's joining Harvard. So, ab aapke haath mein nahi karna. This was my 100th admission to Harvard. Shivka, since then also we've had more than 50. But this is crazy, I mean this. One of my students, Ishita, has become a professor of finance at Harvard Business School. First year, if you go to Harvard, she will be a finance professor. This, and I have taught some of the most average students. मैं आपको कितना ही नाम दे दूं. This guy, Simrat, he speaks only Punjabi and he can't speak Hindi, English, तो भूल ही जाओ उसके बावजूद भी. Whereas he ended up, you can see.
दोनों में मुश्किल होता है आपको. आप पंजाबी बोलते हो mostly.
हमारा काम ही सब पंजाबी में चलता है.
You got verbal 45, which is so.
Anyway, what has happened? $90,000 scholarship from Boston University. फिर यहाँ से 100,000. And this is where he's studying right now, Marshall, with $100,000 scholarship. So this life success can turn things around. Look at this. And some other Boston University, when it came, he told, and Marshall, when it came, he told $100,000 scholarship. And USC Marshall is better than any IIM combined. Way better. Any IIM is not ranked in top 100. This should be ranked in top 15 in the US. And he has gotten into a STEM program. Super. My limitation was spoken English. Never in, but उसने फिर भी कोशिश किया know the world के knowledge से कुछ हद तक. Than this. We have seen somebody from Bihar can score. Hindi medium background. I don't want to play these videos, but आप समझो कि हो सकता है. Some people then will say, I don't have a good profile. Best 1-year program in the world is INSEAD. This guy, we have talked about him, 60% GPA grades, which will translate to 2.4 out of 4. 60%. Christ University BBA. 3 years of work ex in an unknown company. अगर इसका हो सकता है एनसीआर में तो आप सबका हो सकता है किसी का भी.
So my grades are basically 60%, 65%, something, very mediocre. So
this goes on. Where is he from? Christ University BBA, 3 years of work ex right now. He's working with a company, Bloom Global, whose name you have not heard at all. And barely any 2 years, 11 months work experience at the time he got through. He applied when he had 2 years of work experience. इंसियाड सिलेक्शन तो हुआ है ना. फिर आप बोलोगे कि नहीं प्रोफाइल, ये सारे मिथ है ना. क्योंकि अगर आप एक लाइन में बोल दो माय प्रोफाइल इज बैड, एटलीस्ट यू डोंट हैव टू वर्क हार्ड फॉर योर जीमैट. देन इट्स ऑलवेज एन एक्सक्यूज कि नहीं होगा. यू डोंट वांट टू वर्क हार्ड, यू डोंट वांट, सो यू विल फाइंड एन एक्सक्यूज कि अरे कर भी लिया तो मेरा क्या होगा. नो, दैट्स अ वेरी रॉन्ग अप्रोच टू थिंग्स. वेरी रॉन्ग अप्रोच. Please don't raise hands, guys. I will not. But yes, you got to get a score at least. This goes on. I mean, look at the way somebody is responding like this. This is something that should tell you. Another student of mine, Sakshi Gupta, from INSEAD campus, she got a direct CEO role. Direct CEO role. तो ये फायदा है टॉप इंस्टीट्यूट्स में जाने का. आईएसबी से आज तक कोई डायरेक्ट सीईओ नहीं बना. 20 years later भी नहीं बनते हैं लोग कई बार. 20 years you might say, but हाँ, आईएसबी को 20 से ज्यादा years हो चुके हैं. It's not an easy thing. $5 million direct placement plus stock options. It's not going to work if you go to a mediocre school. Anyway, not required all this. This guy, we said so many times, apply to Harvard, you will make it. He was nahi, mera Harvard kya baat kar rahe ho? Kaise ho sakta hai Harvard? Got into Harvard. 740 GMAT tha last year. We pressed and said no question. But this guy, we pressed, apply to Wharton, you will get through. Belief in hota logon. Got into Wharton finally. The best 2-year program is again Wharton. If you feel कि Wharton में तो क्या ही profile लगती होगी, let me explain. How ahead of Harvard, by the way. So Kritika got a 770 score, 770. And after that, anyway, all video, everything is there. So, and Wharton also, she is right now an MBA candidate. Let's see her profile. SCMS, Symbiosis Center for Management Studies, BBA background. And she has worked with 3 companies whose name you have not heard. Summer intern with strategy and product development team of ICICI Prudential, but this was internship. Great Manager Institute, I had not heard the name. Maybe you heard, but I had. Founders Office, Tactus Venture, जिसका कोई logo भी नहीं LinkedIn पे, तो no. And the Great Place to Work, that's it. These are the 3 companies she has worked with. Christ BBA को अगर profile मानते हो तो सोच. Where is she studying? Wharton, and she also got scholarship. So same applies even if a fresher. Don't think that fresher के लिए कुछ. This girl, Symbiosis, once again, 770 score, got into INSEAD and LBS. MIM program. आपको मानना तो पड़ेगा ना कुछ भी हद तक कि करना है मुझे कुछ. And if Chicago Booth, which is world's #1 MBA as per US News, is launching this program, you should know MIM is a very hot product right now. Same, very ordinary profiles of these 2 people got into MIM program, some of the best in the world. Very quickly, I want to really tell you what happens in a 5-day period, which whatever we shared with GMAT, it is only for motivation. You know the results already. We keep publishing, but still, as a consolidation. Apurva is one student recently, 25th of August, got 760. You can see. Consecutive days, this happened. We had a person called Kritika, 770 score, 18 July. 770 to aate hi rehta hai. Let's see the next day what happened. 19th of July, 760. Please, I'm showing something very clear. 18th, 19th. 770 one day, 760 next day. What happened? ये हमारे यहाँ आज की चीज नहीं है. Last year also we had 4th of June someone got a 770. 5th of June also someone got a 770. This is something that is very normal. Same day also, let's see. 22nd July 750. 22nd July again 750. Same day score. Okay, 5 consecutive days, that will give you an idea. Let's see. 28th July 760. Jyoti Juneja, you can see here. See the date, 28th of July. Ria also on 28th of July 750. इसने ये चीज हमने GMAT से शेयर किया था. They have been startled by results. They wanted to see कि हम पढ़ाते क्या है, करते क्या है, material we shared. They are so super impressed. They want to partner for every single event. Okay, what am I showing? 28th July 760. 28th July only 750. And she wants to rewrite. 29th July, this person extremely weak at math. Extremely weak at math. इसमें लिखा है, I also come from arts and design background, so math was a big block for me. Then also scored a 740. So what did I tell you? 28th July, 2 scores, 760, 750. This and this once again writes, I had a break from math for 7 years. I watched all your videos twice and understood the math concept. This is the person. 30th July, we had someone called Tanmay who scored this. 30th of July, 760. 31st of July, we had Aram scoring a 750. 1st of August, somebody scores a 760 again. 1st of August, Anirudh. You can see here everything. And 1st of August only, same day, 2 people, one with 760, one with 770. And this has never stopped. मतलब ये week after week बंद नहीं हुआ है कि इसके एक week बाद नहीं आया है दो. Next week, once again. This I told you, 9th of August, somebody scored a 760 again, Siddhant Sharma. So it's very simple, 240 hours. You can give 4 hours a day. You can finish everything in 2 months. And this is the person I was talking about, Shloka from IIT Delhi. I did not even know she took the self-paced course. 50 days is what she said. Got a score of 770. You can see in your April 12th को तो उसका score आ गया था. March 28th को उसने exam लिख दिया था. When did she meet me? She met me on 22nd July, Jan, sorry. Maybe थोड़ा time लगा होगा course लेने में. Maybe she started because 50 days is all she took. So you can imagine, and she's gotten into Booth and Kellogg. What is Booth's rank? Number 1 in the world. What is Kellogg's rank? Number 2 in the world. 1 and 2. GMAT 770, as you can see. This girl 750, 2 months of preparation, once again met me at IIT Delhi. And this, she has already made it to Booth, which is world's number 1. This is Vishwata. Divya took only 40 days. How? 240 by 6. 40. Simple. You don't need more than this. More than this, bilkul bhi zarurat nahi hai aapko. This guy, Sanyam, you can see on your screen, 560, and he wrote the mail on December 21st. 1st December ko 560 means 20 days later, 770. 20 days later, 560. So this is genuinely possible. I show everybody's profile also so that you know that we are talking. 30 days this girl scored, has joined Wharton right now. 30 days only. She talks about top 1% and so on and so forth. So genuinely, I want to know, after how many consecutive wrong answers will you give up now after today's session? Ask yourself. Because sucking at something is totally okay, but skipping तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं चलेगा. या तो पूरा गेम ही क्विट कर दो ना, आधा अधूरा नहीं चलेगा भाई, बिल्कुल नहीं चलेगा. And 1 out of 10 mistakes, how are you kidding me? How? We always say don't stop. Please guys, do not raise. I've been saying this. Don't raise hands again and again. It distracts everyone. I'm not answering any question right now, so take care. The easiest thing in the world is to quit. There is no effort needed. Fight to the finish. अगर 26% लोग एग्जाम देने जाते हैं रजिस्ट्रेशन के बाद, it's simple. 74% people don't fight to the finish of the fact that I need to write. I feel like quitting. आप GMAT को रिच बना रहे हो, कुछ नहीं कर रहे हो फिर अगर ऐसा. And I've hit a plateau. I don't know. Please, you've hit a plateau because you didn't build depth in the beginning. Plateau hit होने का एक ही वजह होती है कि आपके कॉन्सेप्ट्स वीक है और एक लेवल पे जाके स्टेबलाइज हो गया कि 660 बस इससे। You really should have done the right thing first. Build your 95% accuracy untimed. You will never hit that plateau after that. And it's too tough. Fine. If it's too tough, fine. बहुत बढ़िया, छोड़ दो ना. किसी ने आपको थोड़ी बोला लाइफ में कि GMAT नहीं करोगे तो कुछ. It's your own decision. It's your own battle. Nobody said you should write the GMAT. I'm sure at least we didn't force you to. Not at all. And I've already said, even if God gives up on you, we won't give up on you. Howsoever ordinary your profile, if you get a score, we can get you 100% scholarship. Look at this guy. The way he speaks English, you will not believe. And I'm not saying it as a bad statement. He got 770 uske bawajood. Okay, he says, I didn't expected this score. Verbal 45 लाने के बाद कोई ऐसी इंग्लिश बोल रहा है, इसका मतलब it's not about English. He says, I didn't expected this score. And look at this, Keenan Flagler, one of the top schools for tech MBA, full tuition. Cornell, CMU, Tapper, Rice. Let's just listen to the first statement.
Hello.
Hi Satya, Sandeep this side. Hi.
Good evening, Sandeep sir.
Good evening. Long time.
Yeah. Almost 4 years.
Yeah. So you scored 770.
Yes, sir.
When was this?
Yesterday was the exam.
Yesterday was which day? 1 second. 18th of August, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, wow. And what was the score breakup you had?
So V45 and Q51.
V45?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I didn't expected that.
What did he say? I didn't expected that. इसके बावजूद भी कई लोगों को है कि यार हमें नहीं करना, हमसे नहीं होगा, तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, रहिए जहां पे रहना. Whosoever is your facilitator on my team, I want this as the last step. By this date, I will get a particular score. You write your score. If you are writing the focus edition, you can write the score with 5 marks extra. 750 ko 755 kar dena. Whatever is your score, just take care. Please take care of this. I will have a particular score, and all the other questions, if you have, please ask me and ask us on the email. We will answer that thing. This session's objective was not to answer the personal questions, but to fix the generic wrong approaches that we have. Please write this, and I would like to read everybody's message. जितने भी लोग सुन रहे हैं, बाकी लोग बाद में. I want you to write a message to my teammate right now. By this date, I will have this score on my exam. Whatever the date you're deciding and whatever the score. If you say that by November 30th, I will get a 760, whatever, or by whatever, December 31st, I'll get a 765. Whatever you want to write, depending on the exam, whichever you're writing. Please share this with my teammates. I really want, and give us some feedback to the facilitator. Is this putting you in charge? Is this putting you under some sort of semblance? Did you learn something? Let me open the chat window. It is not for discussion. I want some feedback. So please give me some feedback. Did this session help in any way? Please, you can talk on chat. In what sense did this help? I'd like to know, please. Yeah, everything will be shared in the next email, whatever you don't have. Thank you very much. Great comments coming, and superb. Please let this come. All right, and share something with my teammates also with respect to this. When will you get that score? Great, keep them coming. Thank you. Yeah, we will give you the recording as well. जरूर मेरे टीम से शेयर कीजिए. When will you get the score? And how did the session help you? Very important. Thank you, everyone. And continue the comments, please. You can write one line. मैंने 3 घंटे दिए, आप एक लाइन तो लिख ही सकते हैं. और उसके बाद we can just go ahead. Whatever the score you want, no problem. It's totally up to you, please. Keep the comments coming. You can drop off after writing the comment because the session is over, but at least one line जरूर लिख के जाइए, अच्छा रहेगा. Just write your comment and leave then. That's completely fine. You may leave. There's no problem. But just one line of comment will do. I'd like to read all of these. So thank you. Keep the comments coming and then you may leave, please. All right, everyone, please write and then continue, please. एक लाइन लिखने में टाइम कुछ नहीं लगता है, लिखिए प्लीज फटाफट. Whosoever is a facilitator, just write a message as well to them. It creates a positive two-way accountability. We are not holding you responsible for that date or for that score, just that it really creates a very positive two-way vibe. So, yes. Yes, quickly leave a comment here and then we can close the session. Yes, yes, keep the comments pouring in, then you may leave, please. Perfectly fine. Quickly. जल्दी से दीजिए. If you don't want to write the score for the focus edition, you may just write a percentile that you would like to get. Perfectly fine. Let's see. Definitely, somebody is asking, please share some productivity tips. I will definitely do another session in this. Absolutely, it can happen to the best of us. So very nice that you asked. I'll definitely take care. Yes, yes, keep the comments pouring. Those of you who still are on the call, I'd like to close it only when all the comments I've seen. Whatever is the score you want to envision, I'm not pushing a particular score. जो भी आपके मन में लिखिए. I will share the strategy plan also in the upcoming email. Just take care. Everything I'll share. जो आपको पढ़ना है पूरा. Everything I'll share. We'll share the recording also. Don't worry. We'll definitely answer some of the questions that you're asking. Not today, right now, but that's why I'm asking. I'll take up all the questions. Maybe we'll answer personally with the name. That's why this chat is being recorded. And otherwise, we'll make sure we answer them at least in the email, and then we connect you to the right teachers. Okay, everyone, thank you. In that case, let's close the session. Thank you for your time, guys. And really hope you live up to your word. We are doing everything we can. We can still, whatever it takes, will help you. And yeah, all the questions if you have out of this. So करते हैं. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.